46. All right. Shalom, Israel. We want to say shout out and salute to all the brothers and sisters out there in isbhpk Houston, isbhpk New York, isbhpk Virginia. All of our brothers and sisters out there that teach this word, go to class, and serve the Most High. Shalom.
Shalom.
Yeah. No, that's cool. And then also we want to say shalom to everybody that watches online, that maybe not part of a camp but still watch and learn. We want to say shalom to you and welcome to another class. But also, we want to just let it be known that our prayers are for everybody that's sick and dealing with different ailments and diseases. We're praying for those brothers and sisters out there that are suffering at the moment. So we want to make sure that we let it be known that our hearts and our prayers are out there for you, for your children, for your families. Because even though, as you watch this class, you'll find out that our people, the so-called Negroes, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, Dominicans, Haitians, Jamaicans, West Indians, Argentinians, Brazilians, Mexicans, and North Central and South Americans of Negro and Indian descent, we teach this word for you. You're our inspiration. And this is who we want this message to spread out to first and foremost. And we want to let it be known that, our prayers are for you, and as if it's already not bad enough, what I'm saying, let alone besides the pandemic, but just the conditions of living in America or in a captive society is already bad enough. So today's topic is about dealing with tribulation. It's today's topic is called the Survival Guide for Tribulation. So trying not to make it a two-part thing, but if need be, then we will. But the first scripture we're going to go to is 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 1. So let's go ahead and start with that right there. 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 1.
1 Corinthians 10 and verse 1. Moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant, how that all our fathers were under the cloud, and all passed through the sea.
So what is he saying right here? I know I don't want to get too wordy, but we got to be able to break this down and make it clear. Read it one more time.
1 Corinthians 10 and verse 1. Moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant, how that all our fathers were under the cloud.
Listen what he said. He said all our fathers were what?
Under the cloud.
Were under the cloud, which means under the Most High's protection, under the Most High's providence, steered and guided by the Most High. Read on.
And all passed through the sea.
And all passed through the what?
The sea.
Now when did we pass through the sea?
Fleeing from Egypt.
Fleeing from the Egyptians, fleeing from captivity. It was our escape, our salvation out of captivity was through the Red Sea. So our forefathers fled through the Red Sea. So what he's saying is, you're not far removed from these individuals. Even though it may have happened in the past, these are still your descendants. So you still have an affinity and a relationship with these individuals that the Most High was testing. So these are your forefathers. Read on.
Verse 2. And were all baptized under Moses in the cloud and in the sea.
And he called that a baptism. When we had to pass through the sea, the Most High was bringing us out of captivity, out of one mindset, serving our captors, into serving Him. Right? Read on.
Verse 3. And did all eat the same spiritual meat.
And he said, all of our forefathers was coming out of captivity. All of our forefathers were baptized by Moses through the sea. All of our forefathers did eat the same spiritual meat. Go ahead.
And did all drink the same spiritual drink.
What is the common theme that he's saying right here?
We're the same mind.
We're all together.
Yeah.
You're not too different than your forefathers. You're not too different from what they went through, from what you're going to go through. There's not much difference. When the Most High puts someone through tribulation, our people in particular, it's not like an individual crisis that you're dealing with. True. What he's saying is that everybody, you're all going to go through this. You're all going to get tested. You're all going to get put through this baptism. You're all going to come out of captivity together. You went into captivity together. Read on.
For they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Yahushua.
Go ahead.
But many of them, the Most High was not well pleased.
Now listen to this. He's saying that these are our forefathers. We descend from these particular people that walked out of captivity, out of Egypt into the Red Sea on dry ground. Yes, those are our forefathers. But because we're not too much different from them, and the Most High is going to have us go through the same thing, he says that with many of them, the Most High was not well pleased. So some of our forefathers angered and disturbed the Most High and upset the Most High and did not get the favor of the Most High. He's going to explain. Read on.
For they were overthrown in the wilderness.
It says, and they were what?
Overthrown.
It says, for they were overthrown in the wilderness. Now, how did our people get overthrown in the wilderness that caused the Most High to be so upset with them?
They chose Dathan Korah.
Dathan and Korah, that was one situation.
They complained.
They complained. So Dathan and Korah wanted to oust who the Most High had set up in authority.
Oust authority figures?
They wanted to oust authority figures. They complained about the direction that they were going.
They were going to war to get some meat. They were
really complaining about the food that the Most High was providing them.
And once the desires got the better of them.
The desires got the best of them. They were complaining about the water not being sufficient, being bitter.
When you passed the mansions up, we were upset because we couldn't inhabit those mansions that were in the desert.
Envious. We were envious. He's showing you that these same circumstances is what the Most High said He was angry with our forefathers for when they were going through or leaving one form of captivity and learning how to follow the Most High. And He said that for they were overthrown in the wilderness. Just to collaborate on this a little bit more, Hebrews chapter 3 verse 5 real quick. Hebrews chapter 3 verse 5. Somebody else. And we're going to come back to this also. Just let go ahead. We'll come back to it in a minute. So next reader, you can have a seat. 1 Corinthians chapter 10, Elisha, you can have a seat. Next reader, Hebrews chapter 3 verse 5.
Just read it.
Hebrews chapter 3.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 5.
How are we overthrown in the wilderness? Go ahead.
And Moses verily was faithful in all his house.
So not everybody was overthrown, just the majority. But
Yeah.
it was a few that the Most High wasn't angry with. It was the ones that were what?
And Moses verily was faithful.
It's the ones that were what?
Verily was faithful.
It's the ones that were faithful that the Most High wasn't so angry with. They were faithful while going through the condition of leaving captivity and learning how to follow the Most High. Read on.
And Moses verily was faithful in all his house as a servant.
As a what?
As a servant.
And what mentality did Moses put himself in order to make it out of that situation?
Servitude.
He put himself as a servant. He put himself in the capacity of a servant, the mentality of a servant. The Most High gives me direction, I follow direction. I follow instruction. He's showing you keys to getting out of tribulation, to getting out of the wilderness, to getting out of circumstances. Put yourself in the capacity of a servant. Read on.
For a testimony.
And it was for what?
For a testimony.
So Moses putting himself in the capacity of a servant was what to us?
A testimony.
It was a testimony for us. Go ahead.
Of those things which were to be spoken after.
So it was a testimony of the things that were going to happen later.
Wow. Okay.
So what we're learning is in 1 Corinthians chapter 10, and we're going to go back to it in a minute, is that the Most High took all of us through the same situation. He fed us all the same food. We all had the same living condition, the same circumstances. But not everybody had the same mind frame. And that was the issue. Not everybody had the same mindset. The ones that angered the Most High had a certain mind, and the ones that didn't anger the Most High had a certain mind. The mind frame of Moses was one of a servant. And this was a testimony of what you're going to have to do and become in the last days in order to make it out the next form of captivity. Everything we're reading about is a lesson. It's a lesson for you. It was an example for you. Read on.
Verse 6. But Yahushua as a son over his own house, whose house are we, if we hold fast.
If we do what?
If we hold fast.
Just like we got the pleasure of the Most High, we can also fulfill the pleasure of Christ if we do what?
If we hold fast.
So Moses was faithful. Moses he wasn't overthrown by the conditions. He wasn't overthrown by the circumstances. He didn't let the situation that he was in particular get the best of him to alter his judgment. He just put on the mind of a servant. Read on.
If we hold fast that confidence.
The what?
That confidence.
So what allowed Moses to make it out of that situation?
Confidence.
His confidence. Moses remained faithful and he remained confident in who? Read on.
If we hold fast the confidence and the rejoicing of the hope firm unto the end.
So even though Moses was unsure of exactly where the Most High was taking him to, where he was going, Moses also walked in the wilderness for 40 years. But not everybody made it out. Only the ones that had the right mentality got the pleasure of the Most High and sustained themselves. Now, let's go to, no, read on. I'm sorry, read on. I want to finish
Verse 7.
A little bit more.
Wherefore, as the Holy Spirit saith, today, if we will hear his voice.
So today, everything that we read about so far was made for us to learn about today. Everything we mentioned right now in the beginning of the class was for you today. What is it that you're going to go through that the Most High is going to take you through, where you have to remain faithful in the mind frame of a servant, to where you can hold on to your confidence until the end. So everything we just read was for you today. Read on.
Wherefore, as the Holy Spirit saith, today, if ye will hear his voice.
And so every day you got an opportunity to hear the voice of the Most High. Go ahead.
Harden not your heart.
And every day you got to make sure that you protect your what?
Heart.
Your heart.
And your heart is your what?
Your mind.
Your mind. See, the battle that you have to go through, we're still in the same situation. We're still in a wilderness type setting where we're still under the hand of our captivity and of our captors. We haven't seen salvation yet. So in the meantime, until salvation comes, there's a certain mindset and mentality that you have to hold on to until that time happens, until that exodus happens, until you see the exit, until the Most High takes us out of here. Read on.
Verse 8. Harden not your hearts.
And this is why many of the Israelites during the time of Moses in the wilderness were overthrown. They let the conditions affect their mind.
That's true.
They let the circumstances and the uncomfortableness of what they were going through take away their focus and their faith and their hope in the Most High. They had no more confidence in the Most High. They didn't develop confidence in the Most High. Read on.
Harden not your hearts, as in the provocation.
And the provocation was the time that we provoked the Most High to anger, and that was the wilderness. So don't repeat what your forefathers have done. Don't repeat their same mistakes. That what their mistake was is that they misinterpreted the sufferings of what they were going through.
But people always say, hey, the ancestors of which,
Yeah.
the ancestors, that whole ancestors mindset of, it's going to focus on the ancestors were automatically on point. To be truthful, our ancestors made a lot of mistakes.
Our ancestors were not always on point.
They weren't on point, bro.
And not all of our ancestors' examples were meant to be followed. They were actually a lesson of what to do and what not to do. And that's what we're reading about now. Don't repeat the same mistakes. Don't in this day and time develop a stubborn, hard heart. Don't develop a heart where it's unfocused and unfaithful, where you misinterpret because you're consumed with the condition that you're in. You misinterpret exactly what the Most High is taking you through. That can happen now. That same mistake can be made today, where you don't understand what it is that the Most High is taking you through. You can fall victim to that. Those were still our forefathers. That's still our bloodline. That's still our kinfolk. You're the descendants of those people. Those attributes, those habits can come back into this day and age, can be repeated. You can't let this situation that you're in now dictate and determine what the Most High is taking you through and rob you of an opportunity to look at how to navigate through it. What does the Most High want me to learn while I'm in this situation today? You know what the Most High wants you to learn? It's on. David said something. I hate to go here. But give me the Josephus real quick. Give me the Josephus. We're gonna just take a quick break on the Josephus and pull out one thing right here. Go to the Josephus chapter. It's Antiquities of the Jews, book 7. Antiquities of the Jews, book 7, chapter 4. No, hold on. Let me get it real quick. Hold on. All right. Give me the actual biblical verse on this. Go to Samuel. Say it again. Let me read this in the Bible first. Where David took Bathsheba.
Fasting and praying.
Hold on. Give me where it's only a small piece that I want. Hold on.
11. 2 Samuel 11.
Let me see. Let me get this real quick. Yeah. No, yeah. Read this real quick. No, let me get it out of here because I wanted to get right to the point.
So we're still subject to our ancestors' issues. We're subject to our forefathers' issues, and we're still in the same conditions. We're still in the same circumstances that require us to follow the Father. Like we had to follow the Most High in Christ in the wilderness through Moses by the cloud.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're going to use the Josephus to go back and show this point scripturally.
Go ahead, First Kings.
Yeah. Start at yeah, here it is right here. Go back up. Go to page 191 in the Josephus.
All right.
Start at chapter 2 in paragraph 141.
Okay. The Antiquities of the Jews, book 7, chapter 7, paragraph 1.
You know what? It's page 191. Get straight to the point on line 143.
Paragraph what?
It's chapter 7. It's book 7, chapter 7, paragraph 2, and it's line 143. Get straight to the point.
Okay. Line 143.
142. I'm sorry. Go read that.
142.
Yeah, read that. Because I kind of want to take this and use this for an example. Read that. Sorry about taking so long. It just hit my mind. But go ahead.
When the king had heard this of the messengers, he took it heinously and said that they did wrong when they assaulted the wall.
So David was pretending that he was sad that Uriah died, because we know that David is the one that sent the death note that to have Uriah set up. So he said that so he was laying it on like, hey man, y'all shouldn't have besieged the wall, knowing that the wall was heavily guarded. Read on.
Whereas they ought and said it did wrong when they assaulted the wall, whereas they ought, by undermining and other stratagems of war.
Stratagems.
Stratagems.
He says, y'all undermine the enemy by trying to attack a heavily guarded wall. Go ahead.
To endeavor the taking of the city.
Hold on one second.
I got you.
Yeah. To
Page
he says
191.
page 191. He says by what?
To endeavor the taking of the city, especially when they had before their eyes the example of Abimelech.
He says, and knowing that you shouldn't have done this, even though this was David's command, he was checking his soldiers. Knowing y'all shouldn't have done this because you had the example of Abimelech. Read on.
The son of Gideon.
Go ahead.
Who would need to take the tower in Thebes by force.
Go ahead.
And was killed by a large stone thrown at him by an old woman.
So we know the story. We read that in Sabbath class not too long ago about him being killed, Abimelech being killed by the stone by the old lady. So he told us his dude, hey, kill me because I don't want it to be known in history that I died by a hand of a woman. So David said, y'all should know that we have this in our history that because of what happened to Abimelech, you never approach a heavily guarded wall. Read on.
And although he was a man of great prowess, he died ignominiously by the dangerous manner of his assault.
Go ahead. He died without honor. Go ahead.
That they should remember this accident.
Hold on. He says, even in war, he says that if there's an accident that happens in war, he says you're supposed to remember the accidents that you have in war. You're supposed to remember the situations where you fell previously in battle, where you slipped up in battle. He says you take note of your errors, of your faults, even in battle. Read on.
And not come near the enemy's wall.
Go ahead.
For that the best method of making war with success was to call to mind the accidents of former wars.
Read that part again.
For that the best method.
He says David understood this. He says for that the best method of what?
Of making war.
He says the best method of making war. War is a combination of many battles put together. Just like you're going to have wars in your life. You're going to have many battles in your life. But the best method of overcoming battles or war is to do what?
The best method of making war with success was to call to mind.
Was to do what?
Was to call to mind.
Which was to remember, go ahead.
The accidents of former wars.
The mistakes that you made in former wars. The mistakes that you made in former battles. You're supposed to be remembering your mistakes as a tool, a teaching tool to get through the next form of battle, to get through the next situation. Read on.
And what good or bad?
It says, and what?
What good or bad?
So you're supposed to be taking notes of the past. You're supposed to be taking inventory of what worked and what didn't work. How were we successful? How was I successful in this time when I was going through this situation? Or what good did drinking do for me when I was in that situation? Or what good was my anger for me in that situation? Did that anger do me well? Did it serve a good purpose? Or did my absence, I just said I just want to quit and give up. So by me quitting previously, did that help me get over that situation? You're supposed to be looking at all your past decisions that you've ever made, and you're supposed to be analyzing, using it as a table of contents to guide you in saying, okay, what worked before, what didn't work before, what do I need to do now to get through this situation that got me through the last situation? You're supposed to be calling to mind all your previous battles. Read on.
What good or bad success had attended them in the like dangerous cases.
Go ahead.
That so they might imitate the one.
So that they may what?
Imitate the one.
So you're supposed to be imitating what works, and you're not supposed to imitate what doesn't work. So as we read 1 Corinthians 10, and right now we're on Hebrews 3, what he's telling you is that you're not supposed to imitate what didn't work in the wilderness with your forefathers. Right. You're supposed to imitate what worked. What got Moses through the wilderness? That you're supposed to imitate. It was his faith, it was his hope, it is confidence in the Most High, and his mentality was that of a servant. What didn't work for the children of Israel in the wilderness? Misinterpreting what they were going through, complaining, angry at the leadership, angry at the food, the quality of food, angry at the quality of water, always complaining, and tired of being led through unknown directions, having regrets that they ever left Egypt, having regrets that they even left their captivity because they were more comfortable. This is what you don't imitate. Finish that in Josephus.
And avoid the other.
And do what?
And avoid the other.
So you're supposed to be imitating and avoiding in your life. I imitate what worked and I avoid what didn't work. And this is what David said that they would use as a rubrics or a guide to future battles. I imitate what works and I avoid what doesn't work. This is why we're reading what we're reading in Hebrews. Go back to Hebrews now, chapter 3.
Hebrews chapter 3, verse 8. Harden not your heart.
Because you know what? Having a hard heart doesn't work. Having a bitter mind doesn't help you in your future battles. Being stubborn or angry or not understanding what the Most High has got you going through is not going to help you. Complaining is not going to help you. Being always sorrowful or depressed is not going to help you. Not putting yourself in the capacity of a servant is not going to help you. That's why I said, harden not your hearts. Read on.
Harden not your hearts, as in the provocation.
Go ahead.
In the day of temptation.
And that's when we started tempting the Most High. Because we didn't just want to follow what he was doing with us. I started complaining. And I didn't like what the Most High was putting me through. So I started developing a stiff mind. Read on.
In the day of temptation in the wilderness.
Read on.
When your fathers tempted me.
He said when your fathers did what?
When your fathers tempted me.
Don't do what your forefathers have done. Because the more you complain and the more you misinterpret the struggles that you're going through, the more that you misinterpret your tribulation, the more you anger the Most High. The more you vex the Most High. The more you don't sit down and try to find out and identify, well, what is it that the Most High has got me going through? What is he trying to show me? What is he trying to teach me? If you don't embrace the changes and the struggles the Most High got you going through, all you're going to do is piss him off. Because all you're going to do is complain about your situation. You're never going to see what it is that the Most High has set up for you in the future. You'll never get to that point because you're too stuck on what's wrong right now and what you don't like right now. And you're consumed and overthrown with tribulation and trouble and stress. Because you're too focused on the here and now. You're not focused on the Most High setting us up for something better. So let me develop the right mentality for what I'm going through right now so I can inherit what the Most High has for me in the long run. Not everybody can put themselves in that capacity, in that mental state. Read on.
Hebrews chapter 3, verse 9. When your fathers tempted me, proved me, and saw my works 40 years. Wherefore I was grieved with that generation.
And the Most High said I was what?
I was grieved with that generation.
Read.
And said, they do always err.
What was the Most High's? What did the Most High see what was wrong? What was the problem that the Most High said that was wrong with the children of Israel?
They do always err.
But he says they always err. But where?
In their mind.
In their mind. In their heart.
Yeah.
He said their mind changes too much. That's the biggest mistake of Israel. Their mind changes all the time. They're ultra emotional. They're emo.
Yeah.
They're ultra unthankful, unappreciative, always complaining. They're never fixed and firm. Their mind is never temperate. There's always something wrong. There's always a problem. There's always something. He said that's where they make their mistake at. So if your battle plan is supposed to be imitating what works and avoiding what doesn't, then are you following that same ancient battle plan? Are you following, let me make sure that I'm not one like my forefathers who doesn't understand what the Most High's got me going through. How do we know that? Read on.
They do always err in their heart.
Go ahead.
And they have not known my ways.
And what? Say that again.
And they have not known my ways.
And say that one more time.
And they have not known my ways.
Why do we err in our hearts?
We don't know the Most High's ways.
Because we don't understand the Most High. We don't understand because we don't. That's very critical. You need to write that down. If you got that, you got a pen and paper. You need to write that down. That's very critical in making it through your everyday battles. You have to start trying to understand what it is that the Most High's got you going through, and why does the Most High have you going through it? What is it that the Most High is trying to teach me? What is He trying to show me? What does He want me to develop? The situation and the circumstance that I'm going through is a teaching tool to get to know Him even more. He said, but they don't understand my ways. They don't understand how I do things. All they see is that I took them out of captivity and it looks like they're going to go hungry. And it looks like they're going to go thirsty. And it looks like their animals are going to die. And it looks like their children are going to die. And it looks like they're going to die in the wilderness. It looks like they're going to starve to death. That's all they see. He said, but they don't understand what I'm doing. And because we misinterpret the Most High and what He's doing and His ways, His mode of operation, the lessons He's trying to teach us, how He shows love, how He guides us, because we don't understand that. Read on.
Verse 9. When your fathers tempted me, proved me, and saw my works 40 years. So
Here's verse 10.
Wherefore I was grieved with that generation, and said, they do always err in their heart, and they have not known my ways. So I swear in my wrath, they shall not enter into my rest.
He said, they shall not what?
They shall not enter into my rest.
The Most High said, they're not going to make it out of this wilderness. See, we have the potential to not make it either. But it's all based upon what you allow to go through your mindset. What thoughts do you play with? Or what ways of the Most High do you not understand? What is it that you're missing that may cause you not to make it out of this battle? Because the Most High said they always err in their heart. That's always the problem. The problem is not the condition. It's not the temperature. It's not the weather. It's not the food. It's not the water. It's not the Most High said I was with them in the cloud. I was always with them. The problem is the mentality. They can't comprehend struggle. They don't comprehend struggle too well. That's a fault of our people. We can't comprehend struggle. Read on.
Verse 11. So I swear in my wrath, they shall not enter into my rest.
He said, I swear, the Most High said, because they don't understand me. He said, I promise they're not going to make it out because they don't understand me. Now we had a question about how does one develop that discernment, and so that's what the whole class is about. So I'll say stay tuned because we got the answer. How do you develop that discernment? We got the answer, but you got to stay tuned. Now hold that and go to Proverbs chapter 28 verse 3. Matter of fact, let that go. You can have a seat. Go to Proverbs, Psalms chapter 28 verse 3. Psalms chapter 28 verse 3. So we're learning what our initial issue is of how we failed before in the past. So the Most High has given us another opportunity by way of learning from our forefathers of what not to do, of what not to imitate, of how to vex the Most High, how to anger the Most High. And also He's showing us how not to be overthrown in these days. That's called today. In these days right now, you have to not be overthrown. Let's read that.
Psalms 28 verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
Draw me not away with the wicked.
He said, that's why David was praying that what?
Draw me not away with the wicked.
He said, don't count me for these guys that don't understand. Don't count me with the wicked. Read. The ones that vex the Most High. Go ahead.
And with the workers of iniquity.
He said, don't count me with them. Read on.
Which speak peace to their neighbors.
Because they speak peace to their neighbors. Go ahead.
But mischief is in their hearts.
So what's wrong with the wicked?
You got mischief.
They're plotting. They're what?
They're saying that they're speaking peace with their mouth, but in their mind they're thinking negative.
What's the Hebrew word for peace?
Shalom.
Shalom.
Yeah.
So they say shalom. They say shalom with their mouth, but where is their mind at?
Negative. Oh, mischief.
Their mind is somewhere else. They don't tell you what's on their mind.
Come.
That's the problem. He said, "This is what's wrong with them." We read that our error is always in our heart, which is our mind.
Come.
The wicked don't tell you what's in their mind. They just sit back and tell you shalom, everything's all good, but it's not all good. Read on.
Verse 4. Give them according to their deeds.
So he says, repay them according to their deeds. Read on.
And according to the wickedness of their endeavors.
Go ahead.
Give them after the work of their hands.
He says, give them after the work of their hands. Read on.
Render to them their
Dessert.
Dessert.
Yeah. Pay them what they want. Give them what they want.
Okay.
You know, and that's exactly what happened. We got what we deserved in the wilderness in Deuteronomy, coming out of Egypt. You know what we inherited? Death.
Mm-hmm.
That was our reward. Because we couldn't understand the struggles that the Most High had us going through. We couldn't comprehend them. Read on.
Verse 5. Because they regard not the work of their...
Hold on. He said what?
Because they regard not the works of the Most High.
What was their problem?
They regard not the works of the Most High.
What does that mean? They can't recognize what the Most High is doing.
Okay.
The same thing we just read in Hebrews. All of our troubles and all of our problems that we have with the Most High, we don't understand what He's taking us through. So we say it's all good, we say shalom, and we say peace, but there's something else that we don't agree to. There's something we don't agree with. That's why He says, because you know what we don't agree with? Why does it have to be this way?
Come.
Why does it have to be this way? That's what Israel came to Moses about. Why do you have to be in charge? Why do we have to listen to you? We're also of
Holy stock.
Holy stock. We're also elders. We're older than you.
Got more money than you.
We got more money than you, and we got more notoriety. We got more respect, and our money can do the people more good than you.
Mm.
So we don't see why we got to follow you. Why does it have to be your way, Moses? Because this is always the issue with our people. We never understand what the Most High is doing, and we don't agree to it. We don't agree with the direction the Most High is taking us through. We resist. We fight it. We act like it's cool, but we don't. But inside, it's not. Read on.
Because they regard not the works of the Most High, nor the operation of their hands.
No,
of His hands.
It says, nor the operation of what?
Of His hands.
Once again, what is Israel's problem? They don't know the Most High's plans. We fail in our everyday battles of what the Most High is trying to take us through simply because we don't understand what the Most High's plan for us is. And we resist it. We contend it. We talk against it. We become stubborn. We provoke the Most High to anger. We become overthrown in our mentality, in our feelings, in our emotions. And simply because we don't comprehend that, we fail. Because you don't know what the Most High is trying to do with you, you fail the battles every day. Because you don't just go through them like the Most High wants you to. There's some type of inward resistance. There's some type of inward disagreement. You don't agree with what the Most High is trying to take you through. And this has been the issue of our people. There's nothing new under the sun. This has been our people's problem for a long time. Read on.
He shall destroy them and not build them up.
What happened to the children of Israel in the wilderness?
Destroy.
Why?
They didn't recognize the ways of the Most High.
They didn't recognize what the Most High was trying to do with them. You know what the Most High was trying to do with the children of Israel by detaching them from their comfort of Egypt? by detaching them from the comforts that they created in Egypt, by detaching them from from the hand of their captors, their slave masters. You know what the Most High was doing? He was trying to show them to be dependent upon Him. You've been dependent upon these slave masters. You know, it's funny that we say that now because when you look at what Thomas Sowell wrote a couple of books about the sociology and economy of America, and he was saying that prior to the welfare state, the black family had the black family nucleus was prospering, and the two-family household was not an issue. I mean, the one parent household wasn't an issue. He said poverty had diminished down to about 20%. There was not a lot of single parent families. He said after the welfare state, I don't know if that was Nixon that signed that welfare bill. After the civil rights movement, after the welfare programs, the single parent family nucleus, the black family nucleus exploded. And the welfare state made people dependent versus independent. So what the Most High has been trying to do, I say that because we were better off not getting the handouts from our enemies and just working for what we could as a people. But it's always been that way. But what the Most High is saying is Israel a homeborn slave? Is all we know is being fed by our masters? So the Most High was trying to detach us from the land of Egypt, the land of our slave masters in captivity, so that we can become dependent upon Him. We just didn't understand that plan. That was an easy plan. I want to detach you from your slave masters so you can walk and trust me. I'll feed you. I'll take care of you. I'll provide for you. I'll nourish you. That was an easy plan. But the lesson was, stop trusting into those that feed you and trust me. That was the plan. But we couldn't comprehend that plan. That was a difficult plan to go through, to execute. Because we didn't see that the Most High was causing us to become dependent upon Him. Finish that.
That was all of it.
No, verse 7.
Verse 7. Psalm chapter 28, verse 7.
Start verse 6,
Verse 6.
Uh-huh.
Blessed be the Most High, because He hath heard the voice of my supplications.
So you call upon the Most High for help. The Most High wants you to depend upon Him. He wants you. This is all that He's trying to go. That's why you're going through what you're going through now. That's why life doesn't seem to be so satisfactory. Because what is it that you're trying to hold on to that the Most High is trying to get you to let go of? Because He wants you to call on Him for trouble. Not trusting your position in the economy, in the state of your well-being. Not trusting your finances. He wants you to trust in Him. Read on.
Verse 7. The Most High is my strength.
He says, David said, the Most High is my what?
My strength.
That's the plan. That's what the Most High is trying to get you to learn. That's the Most High's operation. How can you become dependent upon the Most High and you can call on Him for help and you can lean on the Most High as your strength? That's all the Most High's plan is from the jump that He was trying to teach us in the wilderness. I'm the one that's feeding you. I'm taking care of you. I'm looking out for you. Read on.
And my shield.
And I will protect you. Read on.
My heart trusted in Him.
He said, my what?
My heart trusted in Him.
What is the Most High's plan? To get your heart to trust in Him. Do we understand that?
No.
No.
Oh, well.
As a nation, no.
As a nation, no. No, we don't. As a nation of people, we failed in Egypt because we couldn't just learn that the Most High was trying to get us to trust Him. Read on.
And I am helped. Therefore my heart greatly rejoiceth.
He says, therefore my heart what?
Greatly rejoiceth.
And because the Most High is my help now, the Most High is my strength, the Most High is my shield, now my heart doesn't err. I don't make those mental mistakes that we made during the time of the wilderness. I don't make those mental errors. I don't vex the Most High. Now I can look at the Most High a lot better Now I can rejoice. Now I can have a pure outlook towards the Most High and what He has me going through. But that doesn't happen until you develop the power to lean on the Father. So you can't get that heart of joy, and you can't get that right mindset until you learn how to trust the Most High. See, when in the wilderness, they trusted their old jobs. They trusted their Egypt with the fish that they had, the garlic, the onions, the leeks, the beans, the lentils. They trusted what Egypt was feeding.
But they was still getting afflicted.
Exactly. They was getting afflicted, but they were tormenting themselves and prolonging torment. Their situation was not going to change.
Right.
And as a matter of fact, the Most High was going to increase. He was increasing the torment.
Right, because they didn't have the straw.
Yeah, they had to make brick with no straw. They had to make bricks first of all. Then they had to make bricks with no straw.
So, because I was going to ask, so is it because that we just want this protection without suffering the affliction? But we got affliction on both sides.
It's affliction on both sides, but I can see where it's coming from.
Okay, right.
And that's why the Most High asked that question, is Israel a homeborn slave? Because it's no different than the Jim Crow era. Right after slavery was abolished, what did we do? We went right back to the same damn plantation.
Yeah.
And we went right back to the same damn plantation where you worked for free at. And then you told your slave master, right after you were set free from slavery, I need a wage, but I can't earn the wage because I don't have the equipment to do the job. So what did the slave master do? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to lend you the ox. I'm going to lend you the mule at a cost. And I'm going to lend you seed. So that way, you can produce and you can work. But you got to pay me. You got to pay me. Or I'll pay you based upon the work that you do. So if you have a good crop, I'll pay you a portion of that crop. So what did the slave master do at the end of the year? Hey, we didn't have a good crop. So guess what? I need you to work. I need you to keep working that debt off. You never paid your debt off. Because we didn't have a good year financially. We had a slow agricultural spring. It wasn't prosperous. We fell short on our budget.
And they played games with the weighing too. The when came the weighing, they had bad measurements for a lot of our ancestors to our forefathers.
The idea was never to get you out of slavery. The idea was never to let the labor go. The next eventual thing that they came up with, which became very prosperous, besides the indentured servitude, working your way out of slavery, when you were really still in a system of slavery, the greatest thing that happened, the greatest invention after that, of paying you a wage that you would never get out of, a debt that you would never get out of, was to make heinous increased prison sentences for very minor offenses. 15 years in prison for vagrancy, 10 years in prison for just laying around, jaywalking, or just not having a job, being unemployed. 10-year prison sentences. So what did they send you? They sent you to the prison system. The prison system was worse than the slavery because at least as a slave, you had value because you brought income to the slave master. But in prison, they didn't have to have rules. They didn't have to have laws regarding your health. A lot of times those prison camps, chain gangs, prison gangs worked you to death. They worked you to death and then you died, and then they threw your body in the ground. Because you weren't, that was free labor. You weren't anybody's property. So you were actually treated worse in prison after slavery than you were in slavery. But what is the Most High trying to show? We would prefer the hand of our enemies before we prefer living by faith in the Most High. We would prefer that. Because at least, although it's slavery, and although I know my master, I still get to see and I still get to control a little bit of my condition, my living condition. I know I bust my butt 9 to 5. I know I put in overtime, extra time. I know it's unfair I know the wage that I'm earning is actually not worth the job that I'm doing. each and every one of us know damn well that $10 an hour is nothing compared to them making $10,000 a day, and that the work of your hands is not satisfactory in regard to the amount of work you do and the payment you receive. You know damn well your check be short as hell. You know damn well you put in good quality work, solid work, with a lot of focus, a lot of mental acuity, and you get pennies and crumbs, and you get taxed on top of taxed on top of taxed. Then you pay taxes. Your check is taxed before you even get it, and then it's taxed again on everything you purchase. So by the time you actually look at the money you earn, you only got 1/3 of the money you earn. And then if you make too much money, you get taxed again. But you know so crazy? We would rather choose this type of society than actually be independent and free, trusting in the Most High. So a lot of brothers they come into these programs, into the camp, they work together as a body, then they leave and they go out and be independent. Because living by faith is uncomfortable. Then they quit working with the body to go get a job. Why would you go back to being a slave? Why would you go back to now having somebody control your wardrobe, telling you to shave, telling you to be here on the Sabbath? Why would you voluntarily go back to being a slave? Is living by faith that damn uncomfortable? Trusting in the Most High, is it that damn difficult? But that's what we would do. And that's what the Most High is trying to get us not to do. Put your trust in me. I'll take care of you. I'll feed you. I'll protect you. I'll be your guide. I'll look out for you. But that's not what we want. Because it's almost easier to actually see where our protection is coming from than to not know it all. To living by faith is difficult. It's uneasy. But what the Most High is trying to get you to see is that I'm walking with you the whole way. Yes, it's difficult. Deuteronomy 8:3 says what?
Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 3. And he humbled thee and suffered thee to hunger.
Go ahead.
And fed thee with manna, which thou knewest not.
He said he fed them from a direction and from a place that they had no idea where their food was going to come from. That means that there's no dependency upon your slave master for your food. The nourishment of your bodies and your families completely come from the Most High, and how the Most High is taking care of you. Read.
Neither did thy fathers know.
He says, and neither did their fathers know. Read on.
That he might make thee know that man doth not live by bread only.
What was the purpose of the wilderness?
That he might make thee know that man doth not live by bread only.
That you don't always have to just get fed by your enemies. Read on.
But by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Most High.
So there was supposed to be a transition of understanding. There was supposed to be a transition of where you get your nourishment from. Of who do you trust in? Do you trust in your oppressor? Or do you trust in the Most High? There's supposed to be a transition. The wilderness was a detachment so that you can transition out of one state of mind, dependent upon your captor, until learning how to lean on the Father. There was supposed to be a transition. Read on.
But by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Most High doth man live.
So the whole purpose of the wilderness was just a lesson. It was training. The Most High was retraining you out of the brainwashing that you've been through in Egypt. He was resetting you and recalibrating your thought process to learn how to depend on Him. And that's why David finished that last verse in Psalms 28 and read verse 8 and 9 one more time. I think you had it, Nathaniel.
Psalms 28.
Yep.
Psalm chapter 28, verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
The Most High is my strength, and He is the saving strength of His anointed.
And He is the saving strength to His anointed. See, David developed that mentality. Not a lot of us have. that I can become dependent upon the Most High and He'll take care of me. I'll learn what He's trying to get me to see, and I'll go through whatever He's trying to walk me through for the purpose of learning Him, for the purpose of trusting Him. Read on.
Save thy people and bless thine inheritance.
And that's why David said, I already have this mentality. I already possess this mind. But you know who I'm looking out for now? You know who I want to have this mentality now? I want your people to learn this. This is what David is saying. I want your people to understand that you could be trusted. That you could be their strength. Read on.
Feed them also.
He said what?
Feed them also.
And I want you to feed them. Read on.
And lift them up forever.
And lift them up for how long?
Forever.
See, David understood this already. But we didn't learn this. And the problem is, a lot of us don't understand this now. The Most High is trying to detach us once again from our slave masters, from our oppressors, and learn how to trust in Him and follow Him. We're in the same situation. Ecclesiastes chapter 2 verse 1.
Ecclesiastes chapter 2 and verse 1 reads. You ready?
Now, sister says she get paid $17 an hour, $25 on the weekends. She get a check, $300 for taxes already be missing.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, I'm not saying, and just so that we could be there's no misunderstanding. I'm not saying that there's something wrong with a job. There's nothing wrong with getting a job. But the bigger lesson, besides the job, is to not be completely sold on the job as being your protector. Your confidence should not only just be in your job. So I just want to make that clear. The Most High said if you don't work, you don't what?
Eat.
You don't eat. The Most High said He has ordained laborious what? Works. The Most High is not against working at all. The Most High is about working a job. Yes. But your dependency, your strength, who you trust in, is not that job.
Wicked balance.
The job is to serve a purpose. The job serves a purpose. But the Most High is the one who gets your focus. I still have to operate in a capacity that pleases the Father with this job. Matter of fact, what did Tobit do with his job? Go to Tobit quick in the Apocrypha.
What chapter?
I'll get it right now. Go to Tobit. Chapter 1 verse 3.
Come.
Let's find out what Tobit did with his job.
You ready?
Yeah, read that.
Tobit chapter 1 and verse 3 reads, I, Tobit, have walked all the days of my life in the way of the truth.
He said, what did Tobit say?
I, Tobit, have walked all the days of my life in the way of truth.
Read on.
And justice.
So his mind was on truth and justice. That's where his mind was at. On doing things right and treating people right. Read on.
And I did many alms deeds.
What was Tobit doing?
Alms deeds.
He said he did many alms deeds. So as Tobit was getting paid and making a wage, he said he was using whatever the Most High gave him to do many what?
Alms deeds.
He was doing many alms deeds with it. Go ahead.
To my brother.
To who?
To my brother.
He was using his income for who?
To my brother.
To his people. He was taking care of his people. That's what he was doing with his money. Read on.
And my nation.
And he was taking care of who?
My nation.
And where was his money going?
My nation.
He was his money, his alms, his resources was going to his people and his nation. There's nothing wrong with working a job. Read on.
Who came with me to Nineveh.
Go ahead. They came to Nineveh. Nineveh is Assyria, the capital city of Assyria, which we became slaves in Assyria. Read on.
Into the land of the Assyrians.
Read on.
And when I was in my own country.
And when I was back home, when I was amongst my people and amongst my brethren. Read on.
in the land of Israel.
And when I was in the land of Israel, go ahead.
Being but young, all the tribe of Naphtali, my father fell from the house of Jerusalem, which was chosen out of all the tribes of Israel, that all the tribes should sacrifice there, where the temple of the habitation of the Most High was consecrated and built for all ages. Now all the tribes which together revolted in the house of my father Naphtali sacrificed unto the heifer Baal.
Go ahead.
But I alone went often to Jerusalem at the feast, as it was ordained unto all the people of Israel by an everlasting decree.
Go ahead.
Having the first fruits.
Having the what?
First fruits.
What he said, I made sure that when I went back to Jerusalem, I brought my what?
Having the first fruit.
What is your first fruits? That's your tithes. Your first fruits is your tithes. So he said, what do you do with your first fruits? You bring it. You tithe your first fruits. So what you do with your income? I'm not saying don't work a job, but where's your mind at when you get paid? Who is your mind on when you get paid? Is it on your people? Is it on your nation? Or is it just on building your situation up? Read on.
Having the first fruits in tenths of increase.
And the first fruits and the what?
Tenth of increase.
And the tenths of increase, which is your tithe. The tithe means a tenth. So when Tobit came back to Jerusalem, he was around his people. He made sure that he was taking care of what?
His nation.
His nation, his people. Taking care of the priests, giving his tithes, doing everything that the Most High told him to do with what he had, with his resources. Read on.
And tenths of increase with that which was first shown.
It says which was the first thing the first crops that was cut. The Most High got the best of what he produced, and that's what he's trying to show you. The Most High got the best of what he produced. The tenth comes off the best, the first that what you get of your increase, that tenth comes from the Most High. Read.
And then gave I.
It said, and after I gave the Most High what I owe the Most High, a tenth of my increase off the top, from what was cut first. He said, then I did what?
And them gave I at the altar to the priest.
And then I came and I gave to the altar to the priest. Go ahead.
The children of Aaron.
Go ahead.
The first tenth part of all increase I gave to the sons of Aaron.
Read on.
Who ministered at Jerusalem.
I took care of the priest who ministered at Jerusalem. Read on.
Another tenth part I sold away.
And he said the other tenth part I did what?
I sold away.
So I took this other money that I made, or this other crops or gain that might increase my resources, and I took it and I sold it for what purpose?
And went and spent it every year at Jerusalem.
And who did I spend my money with?
My people.
Every year at Jerusalem.
I spent my money with my people. Everything is about my people. Everything is for my people.
That's so on point, bro.
It's not about you just working the job. It's not about the job. It's about what the hell do you do when you get paid? Where is your mind at when you get the job? When you have, there's nothing wrong with a job. But where is your mind at when your increase come in? When you get resources? Or is your mind about taking care of your people? Is your mind on your people? Or is your mind on you? There's nothing wrong with the job. But the Most High also is trying. This is what Tobit said. Man, I make sure I live a certain way all my life. I made sure I lived in truth and I lived in justice. I was looking out for my people at all times. Read on.
Verse 8. And the third I gave unto them.
And the third part of my increase I did what?
I gave unto them.
Who was them?
To whom it was me.
Which was who? Read on.
As Deborah, my father's mother, had commanded me.
And taught, I was raised, like I was taught. Read on.
Because I was left an orphan by my father. Furthermore, when I was come to the age of a man, I married Anna of
Let's
my...
stop right there.
Okay.
So he said, and I gave to them as was meat. He says, because as to them that it was meat as Deborah, my father's mother, had commanded me, which is my grandmother, because I was left an orphan by my father. So he said, my grandmother taught me to give away to those that come from a certain situation, that don't have. To look out for those that don't have it all. So he says, if you look at what Tobit was doing with his resources, he was chopping it up, giving it to the Most High, giving it to the priest, and giving it and flipping it and giving it to his people, purchasing items from his nation, his people, to make sure that his resources stay within the community. And then he was giving the rest away to those that couldn't afford it. That was this man's mind frame. So if you do have a job, is your mind frame developed in the same capacity? Because that we can control, even though we're in the midst of our captivity. We're still under our slave master's hands. We're still in the hand of our oppressors. We still got to pay. We still got to pay his taxes. We still got to pay his rent. We still got to get loans from his bank, and we still got to use his money. We don't have autonomy or control of our circumstance. But for what you do receive, where's your mind at when you receive it? For what you do have, where's your mind at with your resources? Does your resources satisfy your nation? This is just something to add on to the question. So there's nothing wrong with a job, but what do you do with it? Where do you put it? Who do you feed with it? Who do you look out for? Who are you building up? So let that go. Go back to where we was at.
Ecclesiastes chapter 2 and verse 1 reads.
Read that.
My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
That's why I said when you come to this is the mistake that our people have, is that we don't comprehend when the Most High is taking us through something. We misinterpret the sufferings, we misinterpret the struggles that the Most High, the tribulation that he sends us through, and we develop the wrong mentality. So now he's going to explain to you what he's trying to get you to learn and understand as you serve the Most High, and your life starts to become uncomfortable. While he's taking you through this transition of dependability from whatever your circumstance is to depending upon him. To whatever your strength is, to looking at him as a strength. Wherever your power is coming from, to leaning on the Most High for your power. Leaning on the Most High as your shield. So he says, and this is the description that he's given, or the lesson, or the understanding of what is supposed to be happening as you serve the Lord and why. So read verse 1 again.
Come. Ecclesiastes chapter 2 verse 1 from the top reads, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord.
Read on.
Prepare thy soul for temptation.
So you're supposed to be preparing yourself for what?
Temptation.
So now, if you look at what the children of Israel did in the wilderness, you're supposed to be learning from their mistakes. How did they fail in the wilderness?
In the mind.
They failed in the mind. Why?
Bad outlook.
They developed a negative outlook at what the Most High was taking them through. They complained. They were bitter. They wanted to stone Moses. They wanted to do away with the leadership. They wanted freedoms. They still wanted to serve that damn calf.
Yeah.
Then they make a golden calf, 2 of them. They still wanted to serve idols. Yes, sir.
You want a definition of serve?
Come on, you can get that.
1828. Serve. It says to work for, to bestow the labor of body and mind in the employment of another. 2. To act as the minister of, to perform official duties to, as a minister serves his power.
Exactly. The Most High is trying to get you to serve his official duties, not your previous slave master's official duties. He's trying to get you to serve his official duties. When we look at the duties that Tobit explained, his duty was to his nation. His duty was to his people. He said, my son, when thou comest to serve the Lord, do what?
Prepare thy soul for temptation.
So you will go through tribulation. You will go through anxiety. You will go through uncomfortable situations. Read on.
Set thy heart aright.
But where's our problem at? It's in the mind. Our problem is we don't have the right mentality when we go through tribulation. We don't comprehend struggle. We misinterpret struggle. Read on.
Set thy heart aright and constantly endure.
We quit. We want to give up. We want to leave. We want to bounce, or we want to take ourselves out. We don't want to be on earth anymore. I don't even know why I'm alive.
I'm dealing with tribulation.
Just because things get difficult, this is our way of handling difficult situations. And he's trying to show you, no, you're supposed to endure the tribulation. Fix your mind on endurance. Fix your mind on bearing whatever it is I'm putting in front of you. Fixate your mind on that. Don't be trying to take the easy, quick way out and the fast way out so you don't have to struggle anymore. Read on.
And constantly endure.
And constantly endure. Read on.
And make not haste in time of trouble.
And make not what?
Haste in time of trouble.
Hold this right quick. What did David say? Go to Psalm chapter 31, verse 22.
Psalm 31, verse 22.
Uh-huh.
Psalm chapter 31, verse 22.
We just read, he said, make not haste in the time of trouble. Don't be so quick to quit when things are difficult. Read.
For I said in my haste.
Because David said in his haste, what kind of thoughts, what does haste make you think? How does haste control your thoughts? What is the thoughts that go in your mind when you start to develop a hasty mind, a quitter's mentality? What does a quitter's mentality tell you? What thoughts does it tell you? What did David say in his haste? Read that.
I am cut off from before thine eyes.
What does quitting make you do? What does it make you think?
I am cut off from before thine eyes.
The Most High is not with me no more. That's the first thought that comes to a quitter's mind, is that the Most High is no longer with me. The Most High don't love me no more. The Most High don't care about me no more. The Most High is disconnected from me. He doesn't like me. He doesn't love me. That's what a quitter's mentality will tell him. I'm alone. I'm by myself. I don't have no help. He said a quitter's mind, he said, I said in my haste, what?
I am cut off from before thine eyes.
Go ahead.
Nevertheless, thou heardest the voice of my supplication.
Even though I was tripping in the head, what did David say? Even though I might have been tripping in the head because I was speaking in a hasty mentality. I got depressed. I caught a little hell, and I start thinking in a negative situation, in a negative way. My mind got contaminated. I got negative. So even though I start telling myself, oh, the Most High is not with me, He don't care about me, He don't love me, He ain't taking care of me, He not looking out for me. The Most High He loves everybody else but me. You can in your haste tell yourself that, but David said, although I had a quitter's mind, he said the Most High still did what?
Nevertheless, thou heardest the voice of my supplications when I cried unto thee.
He said you still supposed to cry to the Most High. Even if you got a hasty quitter's mentality, you still supposed to, in your haste, in your quitting, in your vulnerability or weakness, you still supposed to be crying out to the Most High. There's no excuse. So regardless of your mental state, who do you still supposed to be focused on?
Most High.
The Most High. Regardless of your mental condition. Regardless of what your mind is telling you, you still got to focus on the Most High no matter what. Read on.
Verse 23. O love the Most High.
That's why he said do what?
O love the Most High.
That's why David said what?
O love the Most High.
That's why I said I've been hasty. David said I've been hasty. I made bad decisions. I wanted to quit and give up. He said, but you know what? Because I didn't stop crying to the Most High, He showed up. Because I didn't stop praying to the Most High, He showed up. He revealed Himself to me. That's why I said, oh, love the Most High. Read on.
All ye His saints.
All ye His what?
His saints.
And who is the saints of the Most High? Who got the scripture?
Oh, that's a Psalm 144.
Pull it. Don't say it. Pull it. Pull it.
Well, I don't know, maybe wrong.
You throwing it out there to see if somebody catches. If I plant the seed, somebody else might be able to water it. You know.
Oh, shit. It's been a minute.
Somebody got it? Psalms 148, right?
Psalms 148, verse 14.
Read that.
He also exalted the horn of his people,
Go ahead.
the praise of all his saints.
Who is the Most High's people?
All his saints.
All his saints.
All his saints. Read on.
Even of the children of Israel.
Who's the Most High's saints?
The children of Israel.
The Most High, the children of Israel are the Most High saints. So as long as you know that you child of the Most High, you can, even when you want to quit and give up, you still got to come back and cry to the Most High anyway. Even at the time of your lowest point, you got to cry and beg the Most High to appear to you, and the Most High will still show up even when you do get weak. There's still no detaching yourself from the Most High because you're still His saint. That's why I said, "Oh, you love." That's enough. 140. That's enough. Let's read that back in where we had the song.
Psalm chapter 31 and verse 23.
Go ahead.
Oh, love the Most High, all ye His saints.
Read on.
For the Most High preserveth His faithful.
He says He preserves the who?
The faithful.
That's why it says you shouldn't give up. You shouldn't quit. You shouldn't feel like the Most High is detached from you. You should keep your faith. You should retain your faith. He says because the Most High preserveth who?
The faithful.
He didn't say you wasn't going to get weak. He didn't say you wasn't going to get hasty. But if you do get weak, start praying to the Most High and He'll still preserve you. But that doesn't mean quit. That doesn't mean give up. Read on.
And plentifully rewardeth the proud doer. That's all.
That's it.
That was all 20.
Yeah, 28, 24.
Verse 24. Be of good courage.
He said be of what?
Be of good courage.
Be of good courage. Courage is a state of mind. Courage is a state of mind that compels a person to encounter danger or pain without fear. It's a state of mind. Read on.
And He shall strengthen your heart.
And He shall do what?
Strengthen your heart.
And the Most High will strengthen your heart. He knows your heart gets weak. He knows you want to quit sometimes. He knows you want to give up. He already knows that. But that's why I said you're still supposed to cry to Him. And He'll come through for you. Put your faith in Him and the Most High will take care of you. Even in your lowest point, in your life. The worst possible circumstance that you could be in, the Most High will still show up. Let that go. Go back to where we was at in Ecclesiastes. Whoever had Ecclesiastes chapter 2. Is that my word?
Ecclesiastes chapter 2, verse 2 reads, set thy heart aright, and constantly endure.
Go ahead.
And make not haste in time of trouble.
And don't quit in the time of trouble. Read on.
Cleave unto Him.
Do what? And when at the worst point of time in your life, what are you supposed to be doing?
Cleave unto Him.
You're supposed to be sticking to the Most High. Even at its worst. Even when your life is at the bottom. When you hit rock bottom. We ain't got no reason to live. You got nothing to lose. Even when you feel that way. Read on.
Cleave unto Him.
Go ahead.
And depart not away.
And do what?
And depart not away.
And depart. You don't depart. And don't tell yourself that the Most High has departed from you.
Come impulsive.
Yeah, don't entertain those thoughts either. Read on.
That thou mayest be increased at thy last end.
Because what is the whole end of the Most High's plan? Eventually, as you navigate through tribulation and struggle, eventually it will be better. Eventually, He's going to reward you for navigating tribulation correctly. Eventually, He's going to reward you for not growing negative or ill in the mind or corrupted in your heart or hard-hearted while you went through tribulation. Because we just read in Deuteronomy, the Most High said, I suffered them to hunger and I fed them with manna that they didn't know nor their fathers know. And I suffered them to hunger so that they may know that man does not live by bread alone, but by what?
By every word of the Most High
doth man live. So the Most High said, I took you through tribulation to make you dependent upon me. That was the whole reason why I made your life uncomfortable. Because I've been trying to get you to depend on me more than you depend on your own wisdom and your own thought process and your own strength. Because everybody trusts themselves more than they trust the Most High initially. Read on.
Okay. Whatsoever is brought upon thee.
That's why I said what?
Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully.
Somebody give me the definition of fortitude, because that's probably got close to having something to do with this what we just read.
Fortitude, 1828. That strength of or firmness of mind.
What does fortitude mean?
That strength or firmness of mind.
What does the Most High want you to have?
Firmness of mind.
That strength or that firmness of mind. The strength or the firmness is not in your physical prowess and your physical abilities. It's what you're able to endure. It's what the Most High qualifies as a strength of mind. How much can you endure? What can you go through and still don't quit and give up on the Most High and detach yourself from the Most High? How much struggle can you bear? That's what the Most High quantifies as a strength. He said that strength of mind, or that strength or what?
Or firmness of mind.
Or firmness of mind, read on.
Or soul, which enables a person to...
Or the spirit of a man that enables a person, man or woman, go ahead.
To encounter danger.
To do what?
To encounter danger.
To go through struggle. To go through loss. To not know how you're going to be taken care of. To be made unstable. Read.
With coolness.
And with what?
With coolness.
With what?
Coolness.
With coolness. Can you keep your cool in the midst of tribulation? Can you stay calm when you don't have an answer? And you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel? And you don't know how you're going to get out of the situation that you're in? Can you remain cool? He said with coolness, go ahead.
And courage.
And what?
And courage.
They're damn near, fortitude and courage are very similar. Because they're both inside of here. Courage and fortitude live in the mind. But they have an outward manifestation in how you behave. They have an outward manifestation in how you conduct yourself. They show themselves up in your behavior. But it starts in the mind. Yes, sir.
I was just going to say, that's what Psalms 31 and verse 24 we just read, that's what it says.
Yeah, it says what?
Be of good courage, and he shall strengthen your heart.
It said, be of good courage, and he shall strengthen your heart. Go ahead.
All ye that hope in the Most High.
All ye that does what?
Hope in the Most High.
All ye that got hope in the Most High. So if you allow this, if you firm up your mind, if you make your mind more firm, if you strengthen your courage, if you strengthen yourself with fortitude, which are virtues, if you search after these virtues and obtaining these virtues, the Most High said He'll come through for you every time. What you got in the rest of that definition?
It says, or to bear pain.
Or to do what?
Or to bear pain.
What does the Most High want you to do?
Bear pain.
What is the Most High? God is love.
Bear pain.
Bear pain.
God is about forgiveness. He's about peace, joy, happiness, prosperity, giving, blessings. You know, that's what the Most. I don't understand this pain thing. Why? That's not God. Why would God send me through pain? Why would the Most High send me loss or give me loss? Why would the Most High make me struggle? You know, this kind of preaching, people don't like this kind of preaching. No. They want prosperity preaching. People want to be preached to that all you got to do is ask, and God loves the prosperity of His saints. You're going to get a blessing. Name it and claim it. You're going to get a blessing. You got a blessing coming your way. You know, it's the Most High's joy to give the children the kingdom of heaven. It's coming. All you got, I need you right now. I need you right now. Listen to me now. I need you right now to send $25. Send $25 on this prayer handkerchief, and this handkerchief is going to bless your household. Our people would rather hear that than rather hear this. Why don't you bear pain? Why don't you put up with what you're going through so the Most High can restore you at the last end? Why don't you stop quitting all the damn time? Why don't you stop being weak every time things get difficult? And you all of a sudden, there's a question mark like the Riddler. Now you got a question mark on your whole outfit. You know what I'm saying? You know, the Riddler got the damn outfit with questions on it.
All over his body.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now you become the Riddler.
God.
Because you don't know. I don't know. Answer me this. Riddle me this. How am I going to get out of that? That don't make no sense, man. Instead of getting weak every time things get hard, why don't you develop some fortitude? Why don't you develop some courage about yourself? Read that definition again. In order to bear pain, go ahead.
To bear pain or adversity without murmuring.
Without what?
Murmuring.
Without what?
Murmuring.
Without talking crap. Every time that your faith has to be put to the test or examined, you start running your what?
Mouth.
Start running your mouth, man.
Out the side of your neck.
Talking out the side of your face, out the side of your neck. All of a sudden, this ain't the truth. It's not the truth anymore. Oh, because you're going through something? Oh, because you don't have control? Oh, because you're unsure how this thing's gonna pan out for you? Oh, because you don't see how you're living right now based upon how other people are living and how the Most High is gonna deal with you the same way. The Most High may have something greater in store for you than what everybody else has. You never know. But you know what? Those questions create problems. Even those questions, how come other people have and I don't have not? Even those questions are really questions that are formulated off the basis of a complaint. Look who has and look who has and look at what I don't have. Once again, David said he was hasty, and he already thought the Most High detached from him. He said, but he cried to the Most High anyway, and he took care of him. David also said, Psalm 73, 1-3, he said what? Read that. Psalm 73, 1-3. Somebody read that.
Psalm chapter 73, verse 1. Truly the Most High is good to Israel.
Go ahead.
Even to such as are of a clean heart.
Of a what?
Of a clean heart.
No, they complain all the time.
Of a clean heart.
They're always angry about what they got to go through.
Of a clean heart.
Why me?
Of a clean heart.
How come everybody else got and I don't got?
Of a clean heart.
How come they look like they're happy and I'm not happy?
Of a clean heart.
You know what I'm saying? Well, the Most High must not care about me.
Of a clean heart.
I got to go for self.
Of a clean
I
heart.
got to take care of myself. This ain't working. I'm cool with the Bible, but I'm not cool with the living by faith thing.
Of a clean heart.
Go ahead.
Verse 2. But as for me, my feet were almost gone.
How did David almost slip? David said, my feet was almost gone. That means you almost lost your balance. When your feet are almost gone, you're losing your balance. You're no longer stable on solid ground. That means you're slipping. You're slipping and tripping. Read on.
My steps have well nigh slipped.
He said, I was slipping. Why was David slipping?
For I was envious at the foolish.
He said, I was what?
I was envious at the foolish.
So, is that fortitude?
No.
Is that courage? What is that? I'm complaining. That's still a form of complaint. That's still a form of murmuring. Look at what they have and look what I don't have. Look at how they live and they get to do this A, B, and C and I don't get to do this. They got freedoms that I don't possess. They go places that I don't go. They possess things that I don't possess. They have free time that I don't have. Looky, 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 looky. That's still a complaint. That's still murmuring. That envy, that spirit of envy is still in the fashion of somebody that's not content on their circumstance. I'm still not content with the Most High on where I'm at. Still not happy where the Lord has me at. I'm still operating like the children of Israel that walked in the wilderness. I'm still provoking the Most High to anger. I'm still being overthrown by my judgment. Let that go. And let's go back to that final definition of fortitude.
It said,
Hold that one good.
It says, to bear pain or adversity without murmuring, depression.
Without murmuring or without what?
Depression.
Depression. How many of us give in to depression? Depression, anger, sorrow, broken spirit, suicide. How many of us play with these thoughts?
Entertain them.
So what am I lacking? I'm lacking fortitude. And you know what fortitude was? What Most High was trying to get the children of Israel to learn? Fortitude. Through Him. That regardless of your condition, I'm still with you. But how do you learn fortitude except by way of what?
What tribulation?
Affliction, tribulation. There's only one way to learn fortitude. You don't get fortitude because you read the Bible and say, oh, I read fortitude and I can spell it. That's not how you get fortitude. Fortitude. I got it now. No, you don't. You don't got fortitude because you can spell it or you can read it. That don't mean you got it. You get fortitude by what? By struggle. By affliction, by tribulation, by loss, by pain. That's how you get fortitude. How you get courage? Through battles. Consistent battles.
You can't cut corners either.
Can't cut corners because you know you're cheating. You're cheating your own. You're cheating your own lesson. You're cheating your own development when you try to go around and navigate around affliction. When you don't go through it, you're cheating your own development. You know, when I do a half a push-up, who am I cheating? I'm cheating myself. If I don't go all the way down on a push-up and I do a half, I'm just doing this. I'm not getting fully developed. It's not serving the purpose of what I'm doing it for. You know, I'm cheating myself because I'm not doing the full range of motion. But if I go all the way up and all the way down, or I do some inclines and I put my feet up on the bed, and then I do a push-up this way where all the weight of my body is down this way, then I'm getting the full range of motion, I'm getting the full extension, and I'm getting fully developed. And this is why people have undeveloped muscles, because they don't put themselves under the same duress as other people with fully developed muscles. Because fully developed muscles don't cheat. Fully developed muscles don't go the easy. They don't try to find the easy way to do the exercise. You're only robbing yourself. You're only being underdeveloped. But when you go through the exercise, specifically the exercise of what the Most High is trying to get you to learn, of depending upon Him, of leaning on Him, He'll feed you. He'll protect you. He'll shield you from trouble. He's your strength. That exercise, you can't cheat that exercise. Because you'll still come up short in your faith. At the time that you should have, matter of fact, go to Proverbs. Let me get it real quick. Read this right here. Let me get it. Get Proverbs chapter. Let me think for a second. Hold on. Let me think. Hold on. Give me Proverbs chapter. Proverbs might be Psalms. Hold on. Bear with me. My bad. Bear with me. But I gotta do this. As I'm flipping, I'm thinking. It's let me find it. I'm gonna find it, bro. Because it's something the Most High says that should be gotten. Hold on. Let me think for a second. Okay, I got it. Let me pull it up. Let me pull it up. Bear with me real quick. No. Bear with me. Let me I got it. It's coming to me right. Hold on. Let me get it. Read this right here. Golly, man. Read. Yeah, I hate these damn apps, man. Yeah. Hold tight. What I'm saying, I don't want to lose the point I'm getting at. The point is that the time that I'm supposed to have fortitude. That the Most High has been taking me through situations to where I'm supposed to be gaining fortitude. Hold on. The scripture says, I'm a fool. No. It's in the Old Testament. He says, I am a fool. He said, I'm a fool. Yeah, that's what it say. It's don't worry about it. No. I'm gonna find it. Go ahead. Where we at right now? I'll find it. No. Go ahead. Keep reading.
Sorry.
We're in Ecclesiastes, right?
Ecclesiastes chapter 2.
I'm gonna find it. Read it.
Verse 4 reads, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully.
It said, whatever is brought upon thee, what?
Take cheerfully.
So if I develop fortitude, then whatever comes my way, I can take it how?
Cheerfully.
Because I can bear it. I can put up with it. I can endure it. I don't get weak. Go ahead.
And be patient when thou art changed to a lower state.
It says, and be what?
And be patient when thou art changed to a lower state.
Go ahead.
For gold is tried in the fire.
What is the Most High doing while He's putting you through tribulation and affliction?
For gold is tried in the fire.
He's doing what?
For gold is tried in the fire.
He's trying you. He's testing you. All the tribulation that's in your life, every last circumstance, is a building block of faith. It's for the purpose of building up your trust in the Lord. That's why you're going through everything that's uncomfortable in your life. Because these things are necessary as building blocks of faith and trust in the Father. So how are you to develop fortitude? How are you to develop courage? It's only gotten by way of tribulation and affliction. It's a necessary tool for growth. Your pain, your discomfort, your lack of trust or uncertainty is a necessary tool for trusting the Most High. That's why the Most High is begging you not to give up. That's why He's begging you not to quit. That's why He's begging you not to be hasty. Because there's a reward at the end. There's a benefit to all the madness. Read on.
For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
Go ahead.
Believe in Him.
Believe in what?
Believe in Him.
What is the purpose of the affliction?
To believe in Him.
To get you to believe in the Most High. Go ahead.
And He will help thee.
And He will do what?
Help thee.
No. The Most High will forsake thee.
He will help thee.
He'll leave you hanging.
He will help thee.
He'll leave you out cold.
He will help thee.
He'll disappear on you.
He will help thee.
He'll vanish.
He will help thee.
It says as long as you develop fortitude, regardless of your circumstance, the Most High will do what?
He will help thee.
Even when you feel like you're alone. Even when you feel like there's nobody else around you to help you, the Most High said He'll help you. Even when you're having a hard time to go through whatever it is that you're going through, the Most High said He'll help you. But you need to learn this mentality. This is a learned behavior. This is a learned thought process. This isn't gotten because you read the Bible. This mentality is gotten because of what you go through. Read on.
And he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him. Ye that fear the Lord.
Ye that what?
Ye that fear the Lord.
What verse is this?
Verse 7.
Go ahead.
Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy.
Wait for his what?
Mercy.
Wait for his mercy.
So he's telling you that. Break this down real quick. I think I found it. Go ahead and break it down, though. Yeah, I think.
Read it again.
Verse 7. Ye that fear the Lord.
So
wait.
if I'm fearing the Most High, fear means to be highly conscious of. If I'm highly conscious and highly aware of the Most High's presence, of how He reacts to my thoughts, how He reacts to my decisions, how He reacts to the things I entertain, how He reacts to my ability to be responsible or my irresponsibility, right? That's the fear of the Lord. I'm highly conscious of how He's reacting to me at every moment. Read.
Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy.
If I'm in that mindset, then the Most High said, I guarantee I'm going to be with you, but you have to wait. You have to practice patience. You have to apply the ability to give at a high rate, to stay at a high positive tone, to maintain the ability to keep giving and investing and keeping the spiritual routine that you were trained to have. And I will eventually have mercy on your condition. I'll have mercy on your scenario. What the experience I give you will show you that I'm merciful. If you're under debts, if you're under authorities, if you have police issues, if you have change in your marriage, if you have change in your thinking pattern, if you have a lack of growth somewhere, you're behind, everybody else is advancing and you're behind. If you maintain your spiritual routine and everything you do is based off of He is your purpose and not selfish desires or self-based focuses, He will show you, He'll manifest Himself, and the way He manifests Himself, it will show you that He's merciful. He came through for you, but you had to go a different course, or a longer course, or an uncomfortable course, or an uphill battle. We want downhill battles. We want to wake up, you're in a video game, and you just automatically scoring point type battles. We want just, I tried a little bit, and everything just worked out. We don't want to sit here and bleed, sweat, suffer, lose, deal with mockery, deal with defeat, deal with insecurity, have to repeat the same thing 1,000 times, deal with the spirit of monotony. If the Most High wants me to be monotonous, then I can't serve God like that. If the Most High wants me to be defeated at times because I didn't give Him the proper effort, I can't take. That's not a God I want to serve. If the Most High wants me to pray this much, that ain't God I want to serve. If the Most High wants me to read this much or humiliate myself by confessing my faults to those that can heal me, no, that's not the God I want to serve. Well, if you don't have that mindset of giving yourself to His process, then how is it going to manifest His mercy? You're giving yourself to what He wants you to give yourself to is a proper step, or how you get to the quote unquote that narrative, that storyline, how you get to the point where He can show you I was here for you the whole time. I just need you to take 3, 4, 5 steps so I can take you the rest of the journey. Is that clear?
That's clear. Very clear. Read on.
Wait for his mercy.
It said do what?
Wait for his mercy.
Go ahead.
And go not aside.
And go down aside. How do we go aside? How do we go aside from the direction that the Most High is trying to take us through?
By not operating in the fear of the Lord.
Quitting. But also, what deceives us to get out of the suffering?
Options.
Options, and the options come from what?
Our own inventions.
And what do you call our own inventions?
Doing what we want to do.
Opinion. What is another word for opinion? That the Most High hate. Pride.
Yeah.
It's our pride.
That's true.
Your own pride will convince you not to go through the struggle that the Most High is sending you through.
I'm above this.
I'm better than this.
God.
I shouldn't have to go. Your own pride will deceive you. Matter of fact, go there, Psalms chapter 10, verse 3, verse 4.
Psalm chapter 10 verse 3.
Yep, read that.
For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire.
The wicked does what?
Boasteth at his heart's desire.
The wicked brags about what they will and will not do. The wicked brags about what they won't go through and what they will go through, and what they have to suffer and what they don't have to suffer. He says the wicked does what?
Both at his heart's desire.
I'm not going through that. I don't agree with what the Most High is taking me through. What does the wicked say? Read on.
And blesseth the covetous, whom the Most High abhorreth.
Go ahead. I'm going to keep seeking my pleasure. Read on. Take that down.
Go.
The wicked.
Never mind. Slide.
Read that.
Verse 4. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after the Most High.
It says the wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will what?
Will not seek after the Most High.
I'm not looking for the Most High in the time of trouble. I'm looking at how I can invent my way in my direction of getting the things that I want to go get in life. I'm not looking for the Most High to help me in this situation. What do you call that?
Pride.
That's pride. That's pride when I don't want to. I stop seeking and searching for the Most High. When the Most High is trying to take me through affliction for the purpose of trying me and testing me like gold. It's part of the purification process. Yes, sir.
Got a precept?
What you got?
Proverbs 28:26.
Read that.
He that trusteth in his own heart is a fool.
There's a what?
Wow. Good one.
He that trusteth in his own heart is a fool.
There's a fool, man.
That's a good one. It's pretty clear.
Right? That's it. I don't even know. I don't even know what you ain't no need to add or expound on top of that. He said, "He that trusteth in his own heart is a what?
Is a fool.
Go ahead.
But whoso walketh wisely, he shall be delivered."
And how do you walk wisely? You don't listen to yourself. That's how you walk wisely. You don't listen to those thoughts that come in your mind to try to dictate your direction. You undergo what the Most High is sending you through. You deal with it. You bear it. You endure it. Because there's lessons involved and there's blessings after the fact. Yes, sir.
You don't dispatch yourself.
No, you don't. You don't dispatch yourself when it comes to trusting the Most High. But you dispatch yourself when it comes to the needs of the people around you. That's when you you step out of yourself and you step out of what you want and out of what you care about, and you put your mind on what other people need from you more than what you need.
First, yeah.
But you don't disconnect and say, I don't have to go through this. Read on.
Psalm chapter 10 verse 4. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all his thoughts.
It says the Most High is what?
It's not in all his thoughts.
Who's not in the wicked's mind?
The Most High.
It says the Most High is not where?
In all his thoughts.
The Most High doesn't exist in all his thoughts. See, when you serve the Most High wants you to trust him in a complete fashion. Not a 50-50, 70-30, 60-40. It's not a, I lean on the Most High, but I also lean on me.
It's like ground meat.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a little fat mixed in with the meat. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a 60-40 split. It's not when I need to lean on the Most High, I will. But until that time comes, I'm leaning on me. I'm doing me. Man, the Most High said, the Most High is not in all of his thoughts. Read.
Verse 5. His ways are always grievous.
So struggle, affliction, hard times, going through loss, going through pain is always what?
Grievous.
Always grievous.
You don't want to go through nothing. But if you don't want to go through anything, you never learn anything either. You never develop. You never fully develop. You'll never be fully defined in trusting the Most High completely with your whole heart. Read on.
Thy judgments are far above out of his sights.
It's in the Most High's ways, or he's disconnected from the way the Most High thinks. Just like we read from the jump when he says they don't understand the Most High. They don't understand the ways of the Most High and the operations of his hand. Because they fail to accept the tribulation that they're going through, which is teaching them to trust the Most High. Which is teaching them to love the Most High. Which is teaching them to depend on the Most High. Read on.
As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them.
Go ahead.
Verse 6. He hath said in his heart.
And what's the main wicked's problem? Is his opinion, his pride. And he says in his heart what?
I shall not be moved.
He said, I don't care what the Most High take me through. I'm going to do me. I don't care what it is that the Most High is trying to show me. I refuse to go through this. I refuse. Read on.
For I shall never be in adversity.
He said what?
For I shall never be in adversity.
He says, I shall never what?
Be in adversity.
So a wicked-minded person that's disconnected from the Heavenly Father says, I refuse to go through adversity. Dummy, the adversity was to get you to depend on the Most High. It was to get you to make a relationship with the Father. Why would you avoid affliction? Why would you avoid hard times? Why would you run from suffering? That was the development of your relationship. But our people is foolish, man. You can't compute, you can't comprehend that what the Most High is taking you through is necessary for your development and trust in Him. He said, but the wicked mind says what?
For I shall never be in adversity.
I shall never be in adversity. Well, you'll never learn the Most High either. You don't want to go through adversity? You don't want to go through hard times? You never fully develop a relationship in the Most High either. You never learn what it means to trust the Most High with your whole heart. You know, you cheated yourself. You cheated yourself of your own relationship because of what you told yourself. Because you didn't see through the lesson. You didn't understand the game plan that the Most High had for you. You couldn't comprehend it. Well, you're not the first that didn't comprehend it. That whole so many thousands of damn that came out of the Egypt that died in the wilderness, that was complaining all the damn time, they didn't develop a relationship with the Most High either. They fell in the wilderness and died in the wilderness also. In the wilderness also, they didn't make it either. So it won't be the first time that somebody just says, "I refuse to learn what the Most High is trying to teach me." If our people can understand that this is a necessary ingredient for faith building, struggle is necessary as trust building. It's a necessary element. It's not to get you to run and hit corners and hightail it in the opposite direction. It's to get you to say, okay, I'm in a place where I don't have no control. I'm in a place where I don't have no liberty or freedom, or I don't have my own pleasure. I can't execute my pleasure. I'm in a place where I can't do all the things that I want to do.
No control.
I have no control. I'm stripped of all control. Well, what else is faith made out of other than the absence of your power? Isn't that the substance of faith? When you don't have no control whatsoever, but you just have hope, and hope is the last ingredient you have left? It's the last damn string you're holding on to? Then what else is faith made out of? Hope that is seen is not what? Hope that is seen is not hope. It said, for what a man seeth, what need had he hoped for? Why do you need hope if you could see it anyway? You don't need hope. You make hope irrelevant. If you could see it, control it, touch it, manipulate it, guide it, direct it, then you don't need hope. Then you'll never develop faith. So you could run from adversity, or you can deny the adversity, or you can abstain from adversity, but you'll never learn the Most High while you're doing so. You never develop a tight relationship with the Father. You never learn to put your whole trust in the Most High. And the Most High also won't all the way come through for you either. The Most High said, if a man soweth sparingly, he shall reap sparingly. He said, you sow bountifully, you shall reap bountifully. The Most High is a rewarder of them that diligently what? Seek Him, man. The blessings and the rewards are those that will commit themselves to the struggle for the sake of the lesson. For the sake of the lesson He's trying to get you to see. Read on and let that go. Go back to where we were at in Ecclesiastes chapter 2.
Ecclesiastes chapter 2 in verse 8 reads, Ye that fear the Lord, believe Him.
Go ahead.
And your reward shall not fail.
Bingo. What he say? You know what I was gonna say. What he gonna say? What he say to third y'all?
Big ball.
Big
Bing
ball.
bong. Bing bong.
You know what I'm saying? Is that why you was chuckling over there in the third y'all? He said what?
And your reward shall not fail.
He said, yeah, that's if you allow yourself to undergo the distress that the Most High is taking you through, guess what? And you stop being in denial, stop trying to take control, and stop trying to abstain from struggle and adversity. The Most High said, your reward shall not what?
Fail.
Your reward shall not fail. Read on.
Ye that fear the Lord, hope for good, and for everlasting joy and mercy.
Go ahead.
Look
That's
at
what I just brought out. When the Most High is merciful. When is the Most High merciful? When you executing yourself in a position of fortitude and courage, where you have to use courage and fortitude. When you're exercising yourself, not executing, exercising yourself in courage and fortitude.
I mean, that means I'm in a condition where I'm vulnerable. I'm vulnerable and I'm powerless and I'm trusting and I'm doing everything I'm told to do and everything I've read to do. And I'm going to repeat it until it works.
You got to ask yourself, how do you deal with distress? How you got to ask yourself that question. How do you deal with adversity? Do you allow the conditions to control you? How do you comprehend struggle? You got to ask yourself that, right? How do you look at what the Most High is taking you through? Now let's go back to Hebrews chapter 13 and pick up on, Hebrews chapter 3. Pick up at verse 12. Hold that in the Ecclesiastes, we ain't done yet.
Hebrews chapter 3 and verse 12. Whenever you're ready.
Read that.
Take heed, brethren, lest there be in any of you an evil heart of unbelief.
He says you got to make sure, brethren, that you don't let an evil heart of what?
Unbelief.
Of unbelief.
You know the unbelief is the Most High is not trying to put me through this. The Most High is not behind the struggles that I'm going through. The Most High is not behind the temptation. The Most High is not behind my affliction. You're the reason why I'm not moving forward and progressing in my life. No, the Most High is taking me through something. He said you just got to make sure that you don't let the evil heart of what?
Evil heart of unbelief.
The evil heart of unbelief. Read on.
And departing from the living power.
Wow.
He says from departing from what?
Departing from the living power.
So you let your mind tell you that you didn't have to go through struggle, and by doing so, you departed from who?
The living power.
See, here's the issue with disbelief. Somebody give me the definition of disbelief. Write this down. Somebody give me the definition of disbelief. What is the definition? Go to the Webster's. Give me the definition of disbelief.
Disbelief, refusal of credit or faith, denial of belief. That's all it has from the 1828.
Give me another definition of disbelief.
Inability or refusal to accept that something is true.
Now this is what I want right here. It says the inability to what?
Inability or refusal.
Or either I don't have the capability, I don't have the ability, I don't have the power, I'm not able, I don't understand, I don't comprehend, it doesn't make sense to me. It's either by ignorance or it's by refusal that what?
Refusal to accept that something is true.
It says it's either by ignorance or it's either by refusal to accept that what?
Something is true.
Okay, so just because you are so ignorant that you don't understand what you're going through and why, or you're just refusing to accept the conditions. Or you're refusing and you're denying the tribulation. You're denying the affliction. Either or, one of those two reasons. Read on.
To accept that something is true.
Go ahead.
Or real.
Go ahead, read on. What I have is that it doesn't change the validity of it. Regardless of, let me get the definition real quick. Disbelief.
Ooh, I got another.
You got it?
I think I see the one you talking about.
Yeah, get the one I'm talking about, if you see it. It says disbelief of a thing. It says our belief. Did you see that?
No, that was another one.
Okay. Disbelief, what I have. It says our belief and disbelief of anything does not alter the nature of the thing. So whether you believe it or not doesn't change the truth of the situation.
That's true.
It doesn't change the truth of the matter. So you can either, by ignorance, not understand what you're going through and comprehend it as the Most High is working with me. He's dealing with me. He's testing me. You can either not comprehend it or you can refuse to accept it. It doesn't mean that it's not true.
God forbid.
Read that.
Mental rejection.
It says mental what?
Mental rejection
Read on.
of something as untrue.
As something as what?
As untrue.
Just because your 2-bit brain doesn't agree with the struggles that the Most High has you going through, does it mean that the Most High is not behind your struggles?
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
Man, that's the part of unbelief that's foolish.
That's the crazy part.
That's the crazy part. Because you refuse to believe what's true. Now the circumstance is not real?
Wow. That's crazy.
That's why it says, do not let the evil heart of what?
The evil heart of unbelief.
Because that damn refusal, rejection to accept the truth, man, that's a wicked idea.
Ooh.
What you got?
Psalms 56 and 5.
What it say?
Every day they wrest my words.
Yeah, they twist my words.
All their thoughts are against me for evil.
Right? That's all their thoughts are against me for what?
For evil.
So we can that's okay.
No pride.
That's pride, still on the pride level.
Okay.
But it's still on the pride level. But you know what? More so what he's saying is, whether you believe it or not, that doesn't change the tribulation and why the Most High have you going through it. It doesn't change the reason why there's pain and there's struggle. The struggle is real. That's what they say, right?
That's definitely real.
Don't they say the struggle is real? The struggle is real. But do you believe that the Most High is behind the struggle and He's using it as a tool to get you to love Him and depend on Him and call upon Him and praise Him and pray to Him?
It's crazy because you know what's so crazy? Had it not been for the struggle I've experienced and experiencing, it wouldn't I wouldn't be reading as much.
So what you're saying is that if you didn't struggle the way you struggled and went through what you went through in your life in the so many years you've been in this truth, then you wouldn't have the understanding you have now.
I had to struggle so it made me read because I don't want to read. So okay, I don't want to read. So the struggle makes you. I need to answer.
The struggle make you pray.
I need to.
When you don't want to pray.
God.
The struggle is humbling.
God.
The adversity humbles you. And that's exactly where you need to be at.
That's true.
Because you know what that puts you at? That puts you back in the mind of Moses, who made it out, or who didn't vex the Most High so much, because he put himself in the mind frame of a servant. That humility recalibrates your servitude. It puts you right back in the place where you need to be, a good damn servant. Do what you're told. Go through what I'm taking you through, so you can learn something. Most High put that struggle right. He hit the struggle button in your life right on time.
Struggle button. Struggle button.
He got the keyboard, man. The Most High like, what I want to struggle. I want to. It said, made me want to holler. Hit that button right there. Throw up both my hands. Hit that again. Made me want to holler. Most High, he's a keyboard master. Made me want to holler. Throw up both my hands. Struggle. Most High, he's playing the tunes, man. He's behind your affliction. You can sit back and say, man, the Most High ain't producing this. It's a production by the Lord. Dre didn't make it. Dr. Dre didn't make it. The Most High made it.
Proverbs 20:24.
Read that.
Man's goings are of the Lord.
He said, man's goings are of the Lord. Go ahead.
How can a man then understand his own way?
You don't understand. You don't know what you're going through. Most High got you going through what you're going through.
What was that?
Proverbs 20:24.
So you can whether you believe it or not, that's up to you. That doesn't mean it's not true. And that's the part that's where it says, don't let that wicked heart of what?
Unbelief.
Of unbelief in departing from the living power.
In departing from the living power. Go ahead.
Verse 13. Hebrews 3 and 13. But exhort one another daily.
But you got to encourage each other daily, because this is how you help one another get through the struggles. You encourage each other through the struggles. You identify the struggles of your fellow brother. You identify the struggles of your fellow sister. You identify the struggles of the people around you, and you encourage them through the struggles, because who's behind the struggles?
The Most High is behind the struggles.
Because the Most High is behind the struggles.
Classic DR.
1 Corinthians. What verse is this you on right here? Hebrews.
Hebrews 3 and 13.
Read on to 14.
I didn't finish 13.
Finish 13. Read down to 14.
But exhort one another daily while it is called today.
That's why it says, exhort one another daily while it's called what?
Today.
Because you could fall victim today, like the children of Israel fell victim yesterday. Yesterday it was their loss. Today it could be your loss. Yesterday it was their demise in the wilderness. Today it could be your demise in the wilderness. You could fail like they failed. That's why every day you better exhort one another. Hey, brother, you can make it. You need to pray to the Most High and understand what you're going through and why. You need to counsel, brother, because you need some understanding. Because you're in denial, or your pride is getting the best of you, and you're detaching yourself from the Heavenly Father. Because you're too quiet. You're in your own head. Because you don't understand. Read.
Lest any of you be hardened through the deceitfulness of sin.
And this is how Satan can get the best of you. It's by your ignorance or your pride. And these are the two tactics of Satan. Ignorance and pride. The Most High said, my people are destroyed for what?
Lack of knowledge.
For lack of knowledge. But he also said, because thou hast what?
Rejected
Because you reject knowledge. He said, I will reject thee, which is your pride. Foolishness and pride.
So
The gummy bears of Satan.
Folly and
Coming
madness.
bears of Satan.
Yeah, that's what Satan feeds you. You know what I'm saying? Go to 1 Corinthians 10 and 10. But hold on, finish that where you was at. I'm sorry. Where you was at in 14. Read that part again.
Hebrews 3 and 14. Where we are made partakers of Christ. If we hold the beginning.
It says you are made partakers of Christ if you hold the what?
If we hold the beginning of our confidence.
If you hold the beginning of your confidence, if you finish how you started. You have to finish in your faith, in your belief in the Most High, just like you started. You know what happens with people when they get this truth? They are on fire. People get this truth and they lit. I love the Most High. And then as soon as a little struggle, a little temptation, a little pain, a little discomfort, a little loss, all of a sudden, that fire, that zeal, they lit. They do anything for the Most High. Then all of a sudden, that participation, that belief, that strength of mind, that courage starts to go down the drain.
I'm not a fool for Christ anymore.
Yeah, I'm not a fool for Christ no more, right? This is too much. This is not, you know what? Now I let the situation and I let the circumstances dictate my relationship with the Father. Christ said you're supposed to finish like you start. If you was on fire for the truth when you first got it, then you should still be on fire regardless of what you go through. Because you understand it's part of the process. They say trust the process, right? Read on.
If we hold the beginning of our confidence steadfast.
If you hold the beginning of your confidence, what?
Steadfast.
Regardless of the losses, regardless of the blows that you've taken. Because yes, serving the Most High does come with tribulation. It does come with affliction. It does come with turmoil. It does come with instability. Because that's part of the process. Because it's a developing agent. But if you can finish how you start, read on.
The beginning of our confidence steadfast unto the end.
Go ahead.
Verse 15. Well,
until the what?
Until the end.
Until Christ come back. So until Christ comes back, you got to remain fervent. And the way that you remain fervent is through courage and fortitude. Stimulating your faith. Growing in faith with the Most High. Growing in your belief with the Most High. Through every battle. Now read 1 Corinthians 10 and 10.
1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 10. Neither murmur ye, as some of them also murmured.
It said, because the problem that we learned is that in the wilderness, we fell in the wilderness because what?
We murmured.
We murmured, man. We didn't agree with the struggle. We didn't agree with what the Most High was taking us through. I didn't want to go through what the Most High was taking me through. Try to run from it. I tried to deny it. I was angry. Read on.
And were destroyed of the destroyer.
And we were destroyed of the destroyer. Read on.
Now all these things happened.
They said, now everything you read about the wilderness in Deuteronomy. Read on.
Unto them for an example.
It says everything you read in the Old Testament about those that fell in the wilderness was for what purpose?
Examples.
It was for what?
Examples.
A living example. See, the Most High knew that you would get weak and detached today. So he left examples and ensamples, living examples in the past. Your forefathers, your blood relatives, they also died in the wilderness, but because of this issue, they failed in their ability to comprehend the struggle that they were going through. And because they failed in comprehending it, they died in the wilderness. There was a misunderstanding, or either a denial or a rejection of the truth. So he said, that's the purpose of the story of the wilderness. It's so that you don't repeat those mistakes. Read on.
And they are written for our admonition.
And admonition.
Admonition, sorry.
It says, and they're written for admonishment, which is for our correction and our uplifting and our education. It's made for our building up. It's made for our intelligence, to enhance our intelligence, to enhance our direction. It was made for our education. So as you read the story of all the time that we walked in the wilderness and complained, we was bitter, we were murmuring, we didn't want to go through it, we were trying to stone Moses. You know, we was rejecting Moses, made Aaron make a damn calf. Or we said, you know, Moses been gone too long. Maybe a wild animal killed him. We got to figure out what to do. We got to trust our own selves. We got to make a God. I'm gonna create my own idol.
Yeah.
I got to find something to believe in.
That's a crazy thought, by the way.
Yeah, I got to find
That's
something to
crazy
believe
thought.
in. Read on.
Upon whom the ends of the world, upon whom the ends of the world are come.
Wait a minute. He's saying that you were supposed to be picking up all your education on how to endure suffering and affliction from who?
Our forefathers.
From our forefathers. And you were supposed to gain that education and use it to survive until when?
The ends of the world are come.
It says
Wow.
you're supposed to take what you learned from them, not repeat their mistakes, and use it to the end of the world.
Wow.
This is why I say, brother, you gotta accept what you're going through. You gotta accept your life and the discomforts of it, or the struggles of your life. You have to accept it, because this is part of your salvation also. What verse you on?
Verse 12.
Read on.
Wherefore, let him that thinketh he stand and take heed lest he fall.
He says that's why the Most High got the scriptures set up for you to study, so that you don't fall. You don't make the same mistake. Read on.
Verse 13. There hath no temptation take you, but such as common to man. Taken you, such as is common to man.
So he's saying that everything that you're going through now, the Most High had the same our forefathers go through it before. Your struggle is not new. The reason why the Most High didn't give you something brand new is so that you have an example of the past of an event that you could pull from as a lesson to teach you to get through what you're going through now. That's why the Most High didn't make your scenario brand new. You don't have a new struggle. Out of all the thousands of years that our people been on this earth, your struggle is not brand new. Your situation is not brand new. You're not going through something that nobody in history has ever gone through. The problem is you don't accept it. The problem is you reject it. The problem is you don't dig deep in the past to figure out what did they go wrong. How did they go wrong with the same struggle that I possess? How did they fail with the same condition that I'm living in today? Read on.
But the Most High is faithful.
It says, but the Most High is what?
Is faithful.
And that's what the lesson is supposed to be for anyway. The tribulation is supposed to teach you to believe that much more in the Most High. Read on.
Who will not suffer you to be tempted above that which ye are able.
And the Most High is not giving you something that you cannot handle. And if you have trouble handling the situation that you're going through, you need to look at the past, because that's what it was made for. In Romans 15:4 it says what?
These written aforetime, written our
The things written aforetime was written for what? Our learning. And what?
And understanding.
No, finish reading the scripture.
Romans 15 and verse 4. It says, "For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience."
And so that we through what?
Patience. Through patience.
So that you could go through what you're going through with what?
Patience.
So if I'm in a situation in my life that I'm uncomfortable with and I don't like and it's grievous to me, then what do I need to do in this situation?
Patience.
Nope.
Oh.
Go back
The
to
things that was written aforetime was written aforetime for what? I need to go back in the Bible and figure out what did the people do that was in my same situation, and how did they navigate through their situation to where they didn't fall. And if they did fail, then let me make sure I don't repeat what they did when they failed. That's why it says the things written aforetime was written for what?
Our learning.
That what?
That we through patience.
That us right now today could have what?
Patience.
So you don't have to flip out because you're going through a little tribulation. You don't have to flip out and quit and, oh, I gotta leave and, oh, I don't want to kill myself, I don't want to die, I don't want to be here, I can't do this no more, I'm gonna just abandon everybody. I just want to let everything go. I just want to just run and be to myself. Yeah, that ain't what the Most High had all these previous stories put together for, so you can run, so you can quit and give up. You're supposed to dig in the past. You're supposed to dig up methods of getting through struggle and battles. Those are battle plans. That's what David did. David said, man, listen, we're supposed to imitate the things that work and not duplicate the things that didn't work.
Solutions.
These are solutions, answers.
It's true.
This is the Most High giving assistance to your situation. Read on.
And comfort of the scriptures.
And what does the scriptures do?
Give us comfort.
It gives you comfort because you know you're not alone. I'm not by myself. And there is a way to overcome the struggle. There is a way out. But you don't get that comfort and you don't get those answers if you're not digging in the past trying to figure it out. What is the Most High taking me through and why? Why has the Most High got me going through this right now? You know what? Do we think that this coronavirus is the first plague that ever hit the earth? We'd be dummies to think that this is the only plague. It's just the only plague that's severe in this lifetime. There's been other plagues.
Real ones too, though.
There's been Black Death,
God, that's scary.
the pestilence, the plague. There's been death by shit.
Dysentery.
When the white man got here, he brought all kind of diseases. The damn natives were dying off by the millions, from syphilis to whooping cough, to herpes to damn German measles. It was dying left and right. This ain't the first plague to hit America. This ain't the first plague to hit the world. But the Most High has these plagues hitting because we're about to encounter our exit. Just like the Most High plagued Egypt before our exit. Them plagues was necessary. The plagues now are necessary. But that don't mean you give in to the plagues. You give in to the struggles. Oh, I can't take it anymore. I'm losing all my family. Everybody I know is getting hit with COVID. They dying left and right. So what? What do you learn? He said if 10,000 die by my left or 10,000 fall by my right, I'm still going to put my trust in the Most High. What's that, Psalms 92?
No, 91.
Psalms 91?
Got it.
No matter how many die on each side of me, where's your faith at? But will you be standing when everybody starts to fall and fail or die because of this plague? Where's your faith at? Read that part again. What you at? You had the things before the side. You let that go. Read that again.
1 Corinthians chapter 12 verse 13. I'm talking.
10.
Chapter 10 verse 13. There hath no temptation take you, but such as common to man.
Read on. It ain't no first plague, man. It ain't no first damn disease, pandemic. There's been worse. Shit, Ebola was bad too.
Oh, yeah.
Zika virus, H1N1, swine flu, AIDS. Shit, we had crack too. Don't forget about crack. Shit, we had specific plagues that just hit our blocks and our communities. But now that damn ice and meth is hitting their communities.
Everywhere I go, I see them.
Yeah, that plan backfired.
Huh?
That damn crack plan backfired on them. That ain't the first damn gang violence. Gang violence is a plague. Hell yeah, it's a plague. Drug dealing, oh, this is a plague. This is a plague. We've been dealing with plagues. Read on.
But the Most High is faithful.
But who's faithful?
The Most High is faithful.
Go ahead.
Who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able.
He said the Most High is not going to give you something that you can't handle. So even right now in the last days, can you handle it? Can you handle COVID? Delta? The damn the Corona? The damn Omicron? Whatever one they got coming up next, you can handle it.
Mario.
You can go through it. I don't know. Touch. You know what I'm saying? That's what you talking. That ye may be able to bear it, right? Now here's the problem. Go to Ecclesiastes, chapter 26, verse 28. Here's the issue. Ecclesiastes chapter 26, verse 28. Let's get through this now.
Ecclesiastes 26 and verse 28. Ready?
Yep.
There be two things that grieve my heart.
Go ahead.
And the third maketh me angry.
Go ahead.
A man of war that suffereth poverty.
Why? Why does that bother him so bad?
He gave his life to the cause and didn't get in return.
He ain't getting rewarded. Look at all the struggles and the battles that he put himself through, and he reaped no benefits of it.
Lost.
You know, when you read about David smashing certain cities, specifically cities of the Philistines, you know, besides the crown that he took, the gold crown with the sardonyx stone in the middle, besides that stone, that crown that weighed 7 pounds with the stone in the middle, he said, man, he told his men, man, y'all can have everything, man. Y'all take everything, kill everybody and take everything. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's what he said. Kill everybody and take everything. Spoil the city, man. All the spoils is yours. You're supposed to be, if you fighting battles, that's supposed to be part of the reward is the booty. The booty being the treasures of the other enemies that you had to put to death. Yeah. Like David put that crown on his head, you're supposed to be taking the valuables of other nations. But now, how is it that you've been going to war, putting your life in danger, and you have nothing to show for it? That's part of the spoils go to the victor. How are you battling but not victorious? Man, that's sad. Go ahead.
God. And men of understanding.
And men of understanding, another thing that makes them upset. Men of understanding that what?
That are not set by it.
You know what? They quit and give up. Quitting is another thing that he says makes him angry. To be set by something means you're firm. You're immovable. You're not gonna change because the condition changes. You don't change because the condition gets hard. Now you're wavering and doubting. Read on.
And one that returneth from righteousness to sin.
And one that goeth back from what?
from righteousness to sin.
That's somebody that gives up. So that makes the Most High angry when you quit and give up. You start one way, and you let the condition get the best of you. You let the circumstance swallow you up. You start telling yourself, I can't make it, I can't do it. The Most High say, hate that, man, because you're quitting for what? He's been with you the whole time. He says, there is no temptation taking you, but as such as common to man. But the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that you are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. So your escape was right around the corner, then you decided to quit. You was at the exit. That's why it makes the Most High angry. That's why it's so critical that you protect this. You got to protect and develop this. You have to develop the mind with fortitude and courage. Titus 1:15 says what? Let's read it.
Titus 1 and verse 15. Unto the pure all things are pure.
Go ahead.
But unto them that are defiled and unbelieving is nothing pure.
That's why you got to protect this mind. It says they're defiled and unbelieving. Nothing is what?
Pure.
Nothing is pure. What's wrong with these people? What's wrong with their mind? They're developing the mind of their forefathers that fell in the wilderness. What's the problem? Read verse 16.
Verse 16. They profess they know the Most High.
I thought you knew the Most High. I thought you was teaching. I thought you was dropping scriptures, huh? I thought you was giving breakdowns. I thought you was bringing people to class. I thought you was taking notes. I thought you honored the Sabbath. Hey, didn't you tell me to wear fringes? Didn't you tell me to come to class? Didn't you tell me to have faith? Didn't you tell me not to let the world get the best of you? You were my guide. You were my teacher. You were my leader. I looked up to you. Read on.
But in works they deny him.
Read on. What's the problem?
Being abominable.
Go ahead.
And disobedient.
And what else?
And unto every good work reprobate.
Get the definition of reprobate.
1828.
What's wrong with these individuals that started off strong and ended up weak? And now they were the creme de la creme. Now you can't even recognize them. They don't even look like who they look like anymore.
Definition.
They don't carry the same strength. They don't have the same strength of mind. They're walking around weak as hell, talking foolishness. Reprobate, by definition, says what?
1828. Not enduring proof or trial.
And what's wrong with these individuals?
Not enduring proof or trial.
What happened to these people that who got contaminated in the mind, whose mind got defiled, their conscience got defiled? What was wrong with them? How did their conscience get defiled?
Stop enduring.
They stopped enduring.
Wow.
They stopped enduring, and they told themselves that I can't handle it. It's too much.
Or I don't want to.
Or I don't want to. Or maybe this ain't the truth. He says that in all good works they became what?
Reprobate.
Man, they stopped enduring. They was on the right track, but they gave up. They stopped enduring.
Wow, this is bad. Reprobate. It's entomology. Entomology online. Right. It says the meaning. It says abandoned in character, morally depraved, unprincipled.
So they didn't start off that way. They let the condition take them to that direction. They let the circumstance make them reprobate. Because the condition was so difficult in their mind that they couldn't handle it, that they quit in the good works that they were doing. They stopped enduring hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua. But like we read in 2 Corinthians chapter 13 verse 6 says what? Somebody read that. 2 Corinthians chapter 13 verse 6 says what?
2 Corinthians 13 and verse 6.
I got it.
Somebody got it. Whoever got it.
But I trust that ye shall know.
He said, I trust that ye shall know. This is Paul speaking, right? Go ahead.
That we are not reprobates.
He says, I trust that you know that we are not what?
Reprobates.
I believe in you. I believe in you. I believe that you're not going to quit. I believe that you're not going to give up. And you're not going to become morally unprincipled or morally depraved. Or you'll become polluted in your consciousness. Or weak in your consciousness. And defiled in your consciousness. I have enough faith in you that you're not going to quit and give up. I believe in you. Read on.
Now I pray to your power that ye do no evil.
Read that again. 13:6 says what?
Now I pray to the Most High that ye do no evil.
Go ahead.
Not that we should appear approved, but that ye should do that which is honest. Though we do as reprobates. Though we be as reprobates.
Even though we may look like reprobates. Go ahead.
For we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth.
He said even in your weakness, if you choose to give up and quit, you're still going to be an example of the truth of what not to do. So the Most High is going to make you an example out of you anyway. So if quitting is what you believe in, giving up and not enduring tribulation, if that's what you believe in, then the Most High is going to use you in the manual of what not to do. Don't follow after this individual. Don't follow after these ones in the wilderness that failed in the past. You're still going to be used as an example. You can't do nothing against the truth before the truth. You're going to be somebody else's lesson. So you might as well endure with what you're going through. You might as well deal with it and bear it. You might as well accept your condition. 1 Peter chapter 4 verse 12 says what?
First Peter chapter 4 verse 12 reads, Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you.
That's why it says, think it not what?
Strange.
That's why it's not a strange thing, man. Strange is like an astonishment or a shock.
I can't believe this.
I can't believe it, man. Why am I going through this, man? Why does the Most High love me? Does he hate me or something? Why is the Most High making me go through this? Why am I so uncomfortable? You know, you're not realizing that, man, the Most High is testing you. It's not that he don't love you. He's testing you. It's part of the test. He's qualifying you. He's qualifying you for a greater reward. Read on.
As though some strange thing happened unto you.
Go ahead.
But rejoice.
It said, but what?
Rejoice.
Don't get negative because you're being tested, but rejoice. Be happy that the Most High is dealing with you. He's qualifying you. Read on.
Inasmuch as ye are partakers of Yahweh's suffering.
Because with these tribulations and adversities that you're going through, it's making you part of Christ's kingdom. It's qualifying you to receive and be joint heirs with Christ, Yahweh. So it's beneficial to you in the long run to endure the suffering. It's making you one with Christ. Read.
When his glory shall be revealed.
Go ahead.
Ye may be glad also with exceeding joy.
Go ahead.
If ye be reproached for the name of Yahweh, happy are ye.
It says what?
Happy are ye.
See, a lot of people are embarrassed to serve Christ and to go through what they're going through. A lot of people are giving in. They're giving in because there's a lot of external pressure from the outside. It's pressure from family, pressure from friends, co-workers, jobs. You know, everybody's pushing you to the point of what do you believe in and what you're about. And now you got the Most High. He's making these things, these days that we're in, troublesome, so you can be pushed to that point of making a decision. What are you going to do? Are you going to rise above your affliction? Read on.
Happy are ye.
It says, happy are ye what?
For the Spirit of glory and of the Most High resteth upon you.
That's only if you what?
Endure.
If you endure it and you don't trip out because you're going through it. That's only if you don't think it's strange and be shocked and in awe. Oh my God, why am I going through this? Psalms 27 and 13. Read that.
Psalm 27, verse 13. I had fainted.
What did David say?
I had fainted.
David said, I almost fainted. We already read David slipped.
That's true. That's true.
Being envious of the wicked.
Oh, yeah.
We already read David said he was hasty because he thought the Most High wasn't with him anymore. David is constantly telling you his problems.
He keeps it real.
He keeps it 100, man. He's telling you, I slipped, I was envious of the wicked, I got hasty, I thought the Most High was disconnected from me, and now he's saying right here what?
I had fainted.
He said, I got weak. Guess what? You're going to get what? You're going to get weak. But it's what you do when you get weak that matters. What do you do when you get weak? We all get weak. What do you do when you get weak, though?
Cleave. You gotta cleave. Most High.
We got to cleave to the. Do we cleave to the Most High when we get weak? Do we talk about it like David's talking about it?
You gotta lean on your brother.
Well, brothers are born for what?
Adversity.
So do I lean on my brothers or do I isolate myself? I go in a corner. I shut myself in. I shut myself out of the world. I don't want to hear nobody to tell me to fight. I don't want to hear nobody to tell me to change or it's not as bad as you may perceive it to be. I don't want to hear that. I want to soak in my pain and my discomfort. I want to drink. I want to sleep. And I want to do me. We all disconnect somehow. We get weak. What do you do? But that's a real question. What do you do when you get weak? Read on.
I had fainted unless
he said, I almost fainted. I would have quit. David is telling you he was at that point of quitting too. You're talking about a man that didn't make many mistakes.
King David.
Even the King David, even him that the Most High said, as a man after his own heart, said he almost quit. You know what he said he had to hold on to? Listen to what he said he had to hold on to. What did David hold on to not quit? Read.
I had fainted unless I had believed to see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living.
He said, I wanted to see if the Most High would come through for me or not. If it wasn't for the fact that I wanted to know so bad that the Most High would come through for me, if it wasn't for that, I would have gave up. I wanted to put the Most High to the test and see if he really would come through for me. He said that's what kept him going. I want to see if the Most High is real. But read on.
Psalms 27 and 14. Wait on the Lord.
But that's why David said he had to do what?
Wait on the Lord.
He said, man, I had to go through it. Even though I wanted to quit, I had to wait on the Most High to reveal himself to me. I had to wait on the Most High to change my circumstance. He said, wait on the Lord. Read.
Be of good courage.
Uh-oh. What was David's mentality?
Of good courage.
What else?
And he shall strengthen thine heart.
And he shall do what?
Strengthen thine heart.
So he said, I had to wait on the Most High, be patient, and develop courage. That means I had to endure the suffering. And then the Most High said he came through for me. Read.
Wait, I say, on the Lord.
He said it 2 times.
You have to say it 2 times.
And when he said 2 times, what is David telling you?
Listen.
You mean listen? It's serious. He really wants you to understand the keys to victory, to overcoming adversity. A lot of times, you don't know when your situation is going to change. You just got to wait until it changes. Yes, sir.
That word wait right there means to expect and to look for hope.
To expect and to look for what?
Hope.
To expect and look for hope. Ecclesiastes 1 and 28. Somebody read Hebrews chapter 10 verse 35.
Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 28.
Somebody read Hebrews 10 and 35 and Ecclesiastes 1 and 28.
Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 28.
Go ahead.
Distrust not the fear of the Lord.
He says, distrust not the fear of the Lord. Go ahead. Don't give up your fear of the Lord. Go ahead.
When thou art poor.
When thou art what?
When thou art poor.
When you're brought to a poor state, when you're brought to the bottom, when you're broken down to nothing. When the Most High got you not unsure of where you are in your life. Read on.
And come not unto him with a double heart.
And don't come unto him with what?
With a double heart.
Don't come in with a double heart. It's trying to do you and trying to do the Most High. You know, if you're at the bottom, and if you're at the bottom where you're poor, then you might as well give your whole heart to the Most High. Why not? Why not? It would be critical for your relationship. Instead of running, seeking your own salvation and seeking your own health and wealth, you might as well serve the Most High and give him your whole heart, because he's breaking you down for that reason anyway. He's breaking you down for that purpose anyway. Because you know what he wants? He wants a commitment, man. And that's something that we hold out on. We hold out on a commitment from the Most High damn near until we absolutely have to. But when we got options and we got choices, we usually try to exercise those options and exercise those choices before we really get down to the point of having to have faith and having to live by faith. Well, we have no option or choice but to. You don't have to wait that long.
Sign that contract.
Yeah. Hebrews 10:35 says what?
Hebrews 10 and verse 35. Cast not away, therefore, your confidence.
Go ahead.
Which hath great recompense of reward.
It says, which have great what?
Recompense of reward.
That's why you're not supposed to give up. The reward is at the end. The reward is at the end. It's not during the battle, it's after the battle. That's when you get the spoils. But you got to fight first. Nobody just throwing spoils to you. You got to fight. You know what the Most High during the time of kings, judges, Joshua, they had to fight the enemy. The enemy was always in front of them. You know what? The enemy may not always be in front of you, but your negative mind is. Your negative thought process is always in front of you. And if you're not fighting Philistines, you better fight that pride. You better fight that negativity. That's why it says, cast not away your what?
Your confidence.
Go ahead.
Which hath great recompense of reward.
Go ahead.
For ye have need of patience.
Because you got need of what?
Patience.
And what do you need while you're being confident in the Most High?
Patience.
Patience. Why David say wait on the Lord 2 times? Because you need to have patience. The circumstance is not going to change when you want it. You don't always get what you want when you want it. You got to wait, man. Read on.
That after you have done the will of the Most High.
Because the Most High said after you've done his will. After you've done what he wants you to do. Read.
You might receive the promise.
You might receive the what?
The promise.
So how does the Most High negotiate with you?
Do what I want you to do. Then
First.
And
then we'll talk about a reward.
talk about it.
We'll talk about a reward later. We'll talk about a blessing after the fact.
Nobody wants to hear that.
Nobody wants to hear that, man.
You want terms.
Yeah. But that's where we are. Now, I think that's enough for today. Well, we're going to have to make this a part 2. Otherwise, it would stretch another hour. So let's go ahead and send up prayers. Shalom, the water for watching, the water for wait on the Lord. The water for watching, the water for listening. Let's go ahead and send a prayer. Rise for peace. Shalom, Israel.
Shalom.